could sit here and read live commercials and just make tons of money for the company. I could tell you the same thing over and over again.
I can't be tagged as the guy who's a dick.
They must be so jealous of me. I'm so successful, and they're just kind of not. You know what I mean? I feel the jealousy. That's why I don't leave my house. Don't you also sort of harbor some resentment, even though it's not logical, but you resent your baby for being in the way of your career?
Because we don't want the Japs anymore, man.
Because I want respect.
Some people say our show was the first reality show. I don't think there's one thing I've ever said on the radio that would have been found indecent or obscene. The secret to my show is honesty, reality, that I will say the truth.
My apologies. My bad. I take full accountability. I'm currently nursing a huge sore throat from testing my drinking coach limits the other night. I got, as Audie Lang would say, ossified shit-faced. But I could still beat Hooper 45 in a drunk driving contest versus marijuana on William Floyd Parkway. That's leading me to passing out with my Neanderthal mouth open and sleeping with a fan on, central air blasting my esophagus. As for those who I may or may not have drunk dialed, my sincerest apologies. Please don't make a mockery of this or do a Pat O'Brien on me. Betsy and I would be totally into it, as a matter of fact. I hope it was at least entertaining. Even more tragic, I let a whole 16-pound bag of ice melt in a cooler outside unsupervised, which I imagine I won't recover from anytime soon. I'm a man with a strict no ice cube left behind policy. Not a single cube remains solid in this massacre. And I can't get that ice back. Pfft. Just like that, gone and unused. I deserve what I got. But this one will sting for a while. But don't let all that dissuade you from drinking in the same way, or remotely think I'm letting this stop me from learning from this setback to further augment my drinking coach prowess and constitution. What you do when you fall down from drinking, you get back up and drink again. Only now more hyper aware of the pacing, the temperature, the alcohol percentage, as well as hydration levels for the next time. And there will be a next time, troops. Just remember, quitting drinking is never the answer, and it works if you work it. It's never the alcohol's fault. Do as I say, not as I do in this case. As for drinking more successfully and the search for the perpetual buzz, as the great Bruce Hornsby said, who wrote and performed this, Huey Lewis also did, Jacob's Ladder. All I want from tomorrow is to get it better than today, step by step, one by one, climbing Jacob's Ladder, John Arm, certified drinking coach to the stars. Welcome, everyone. Lotus Notes.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Bob.
That was...
Don't encourage that, please.
What a
Don't
surprise.
encourage that.
Liz Cheney rolled her eyes. What a surprise, right? Right, Sarah? Welcome, Sarah. You are finally here. Everybody loves you. Everyone's asking for you. I have something for you here. I know your birthday is coming up soon. John Travolta. You got to let everybody in on this effing nickname of yours. But
anyway, this girl Sarah has the most amazing.
No, why don't you play it first?
Don't step on Steve Sanders. Play it again, Bob.
Anyway, this girl Sarah has the most amazing body. All she wears is orange.
Are you wearing orange right now, sweetheart?
Orange. Sarah's talking to you. The man's talking to you.
She's not dignifying it with a response. Is that correct?
No, but my internet is crap, I think. The first half of that cut out, so I didn't even hear what you said.
Anyway,
I say this to my Republican colleagues who are defending the indefensible. There will come a day when Donald Trump is gone, but your dishonor will remain.
So this is, Sarah, you got to give everybody the origin of your nickname, okay? Because this is the nickname. And John, can I call him Travs or the Volt Man? This is John Travolta, and what's it called? Modern Day Sissy Cowboy. Come on, what? I'm asking you the name of the Sariana
Wow.
Huffington.
She's in a mood,
Yeah,
everybody.
you get that right
Everybody
out
in
of
the
the gate.
chat.
Good
Yeah.
God. What do you want, like
I
the? What
said
do you want,
play
like
it,
the
and
rag?
then we'll discuss it. Oh, Jesus.
Sissy! 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 I love you, Sissy. I love you, Sissy. Look, Sissy, I didn't know you came to the trailer that day. Shit, you can ride that goddamn bull anytime you want.
I love that. Wow.
Sarah, are you with us?
Yeah, but I'm missing half of this. I got to go out and come back in.
Oh God. Okay.
Kick me out.
Okay.
It's
Kicking guests
broads,
in the
man.
studio. Okay, I know these broads, right?
That's
Jesus Christ.
This is what happens.
Sariana Huffington, right from the jump.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Anyone
You
in the chat
broads.
have issues with broads? Yeah, tell us your story.
I'm not backing. I don't care how intimidating she is. I'm not backing down. I am fucking coming right at her. Guns
Yeah.
a-blazing.
Fire
I don't
up.
give
I
a
think
shit.
you're easily a 9.5 on the hot scale.
Melvin, welcome, sir. God, a lot of people here early. Sorry for the delay, everyone. It's StreamYard's. Bon, will you sign off on that it was StreamYard's fault, not mine?
Yeah, I will. For you, yeah.
It was nothing. I just it would just kind of go in a loop, and I had to try every little thing and reboot. We almost went to tomorrow, but I'm glad we're here now. We're all set up. The only good about that is I have everything ready to go. Welcome, Autobot. Welcome, Jeremy Harrelson. A. Smith, thank you, sir, for the 5. I want to thank everybody. Lauren Marie, good to see you. Thank you for that hearty response to my drinking mishap. God damn it. I don't know what I backtracked my steps. I don't know what to blame. I had Pedialyte. I thought I paced myself. I feel like Cosby roofied. He's out now. Cosby's out. I feel like Cosby roofied me, Bon.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense. I
That's
don't
not a
get
good
drunk like that.
feeling when you wake up like that. Yeah, you're like, where am I? And you're going, what
Oh,
is
that
this?
cotton mouth. God
I
damn,
can't-
you're right.
I don't know what's going on. What am I? I'm upside down, you know.
Yes. The
I was
cotton mouth is crazy.
concerned.
It's the worst feeling in the world. Okay, thank you. Fuji Vice, there's Brendan. This guy would be late for his own funeral. Brendan actually told that joke on stage once and got a standing ovation. ARM time. There's nothing like it, right? ARM time. Let's get this shit started, says JJ Thrash. Good to see you, sir. There's Jeremy Harrelson. I haven't seen Jeremy in a while. So tonight, in addition, we're gonna right back into the marble heist, the marble madness at Sirius, and the move to Sirius, and all the hucksterism with it, and the cash grab like we did last time, and a lot of the partnership, the partner in marbles. But with the untimely death of Shannon Doherty, who is a staple in our 90210 podcast, which Sarah's not back yet.
It is sad that she went, and there was a clip of her just, I don't know, 10 days ago or more, 2 weeks ago, live streaming, man.
Fighting the cause. Like,
and now
she has
she's
been
gone.
and vibrant, right? Doing interviews and stuff. And I thought she had a good 20 years left. She has been vocal about the American health system and all the socialized countries in the world, how it's the worst. The number in terms of her, what we could do with it and what we don't. Apparently, she got cleaned out with medical bills, for cancer treatments, and she was vocal about how horrible the system is.
And maybe that's why she's gone. Let's not get political though, because that might.
It's not political. It's a terrible. We all should have health care. I don't think that's. I mean, that's just a humanitarian in me. I'm not. I want everyone to be healthy. Why is that so political? I don't think it's political at all. It's medical.
Because they need to allocate funds, more funds, and then you get into the politics.
Okay, let's cut the space program entirely. How about that? Let's just cut
I don't want that. Now let's talk about it, because They're only
No space
getting
program.
like 22 billion a year. John, let's cut the military expenses. We're
Yes.
talking nearly $1 trillion a year. $1 trillion.
I know you're a big spaceman.
I'm a huge
think you
spaceman.
missed the train to Mars. Bond's out back counting stars. Anyone knows that hum?
Yeah, I've got
Isabel,
the album actually. I thought Hum were great until you guys ruined it for me with the Howard. They did well for like 1 year back in 1995 or whatever.
Naughty. You
can't-
you knew Hum before Howard played it? I didn't know.
Yeah, well, I had my American friend. Yeah, he had the album and I heard it, and then he started. You guys were laughing at them, and I started going off them. I still love them. They had but they only had a good year or a few years, so it's
Maybe
great.
2 years, maybe. But for most people, right, that's more than you get anyway. You'll take one hit on the alternative top 20 if you had to sign off on that. Like most people, how many bands make it? What would you say? 1 out of 200? Not 1 out of 1,000. Make it where they get the tour a little bit and maybe.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
And it doesn't mean you're good. It doesn't mean you're better. It just means you got signed at the right time. It just means your timing. You had a gimmick that they wanted. It doesn't mean you're a better musician. It doesn't mean you're a better singer. You just found the right gimmick at the right time.
And Shannon would have been a one-hit wonder unless she got charmed, and then she wasn't. If she hadn't got charmed, I don't think we ever would have heard of Shannon again after 90210. Do you agree with that?
Speaking of charmed, I had this exchange with Sarah the other day. I was talking about my preparation for this, and she was like, "What did you do today?" I go, I was rattling off. Oh, I did laundry. I did yard work. I did just rattling off all these household stuff and chores.
Vacuous sort of things.
Stuff. And at the end, I go, as a joke, at the end, I go, and I just jerked off to Charmed. And so she couldn't take it. And for the entire day, she's sending me pictures of Alyssa Milano and Vanessa Marcel and Rose McGowan for like 4 hours straight, like GIFs of Alyssa Milano and memes, and just like somehow that's gonna teach me a lesson. I was totally kidding, but for some reason I should never have said that at the start of this. Isabel,
didn't everybody jerk off to Charmed though?
Charmed was important at a time when you could still. It proved to me you could still jerk off to network television.
Clothed women. Yeah.
Yes,
they're not.
Yep.
It was a great show. Like if I was gonna jerk off to a show, I would have jerked off to Charmed over something like Baywatch. Baywatch was just like, oh my god, you're just showing me everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's have some style here. Rather than
the headlights on Charmed made Jennifer Aniston look like she was wearing a spacesuit, and Alyssa Milano was controlling that.
That was classic.
And there's all three of them. Everyone except Holly Marie Combs didn't have the headlights going. Isabel, yes, of course I've seen it. I've been thinking about it for days. Has anyone seen the photo of Depp and his new girlfriend, who's younger than Lily Rose, his daughter? You don't know how repulsed I don't want to turn this into Deppening, but anyway. What I said before is like every actor, George Clooney said, is stuck at the age they got famous at. The age Depp got famous at is 24, and he he loves to mimic as soon as Mick Jagger what's Mick Jagger's wife is 37 and he's 81. All bets are off. That means that greenlit everybody else from. Hey Stassi,
I am the devil. Don't you forget it.
So, Sarah, we're talking about 90210 and Shannon Doherty, who is a real hero of yours. People forget she was in Heathers, Mallrats, stuff like that, and
no.
Yes, they do. And Sarah, what's your recollection of Shannon Doherty before I play our 90210 opening? Good stuff, Sarah. Good stuff. Way to.
Sitting in a black.
Is she cutting out on Bon?
No, she's still in that mood. She's
I hear
in the
you.
mood.
I can.
Yeah, Sissy, come on. I love the Sissy nickname.
Come on, Liz
John.
Cheney.
Oh, I love it.
Go ahead, Sarah. Go ahead. You sound like the really operator.
Just continue. I'm having issues over here. Just continue.
Okay.
I have a delay.
Yeah, we were thinking you were pausing because you were having none of us of our antics. You were going.
Yes, Sariana Huffington. So this is our 90210 Patreon, and we kind of this is kind of the opening. Sarah did this compilation of what she felt was like the most ridiculous moments on that show. And I always leave a goddamn comment up. I do it every time, and then I go looking for it and I can't find it. Okay, JJ Thrash. So this is it. This is this show is like not meant to be.
Oh,
Sarah.
Yes.
How do we sound now?
It's fine. Let's go.
Oh God! All right, well, that's inspiring energy you have there. Ready? Here we go.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
This is beautiful stuff. My Lord, the image, wow.
Me as Heather Locklear is the best. I really work as Heather Locklear. I really feel good as the role I was born to play. I love Grant Show playing pool at the end too. Jake Hansen. Good job, Sarah. And so that's our 90210 opening. And the great Shannon Doherty has passed away. And what I thought I went and I collected some moments as akin to the Stern Show. And it's, she only did the show once. As obsessed with it as Howard was, Shannon Doherty has only been on the show once, and she was doing a Playboy spread, if anyone remembers that.
Oh, gosh.
Do you remember in 2003 she did Playboy?
Yeah, she had torpedoes on her chest. Not that I looked at the layout.
Sarah, did you have her action figure?
Yes.
No, I didn't have 90210 dolls. I had oh God. No, I did not. So no, I apologize.
Okay, so Howard does have them, and this is Jason Priestley on the E! Interview show with Christine Elise, who is on 21 Jump Street season 4, called Out of Control, and she plays a thrill-seeking rich kid. And she is Depp's age, as a matter of fact. She is 5 years older than Jason Priestley. Jason Priestley also dated Holly Robinson, who's also 5 years older than him. And this is the Howard E! Show with Priestley, and show you the kind of Shannon Doherty pertinent clips here.
Oh, this is very exciting for me. I'm a big fan of Jason Priestley. Thank you, sir. Let me set this up. I prepared. First of all, you know you're big when you have
he is from what I hear.
doll. Now wait a second. Where?
What was that, Sarah?
He is from what I hear.
I knew you were going to say that. I almost cut that out just because I didn't want you commenting on dick size. I almost cut that out. I knew you were going to do that.
Now, does that look like you? Yeah, it does look like you. It looks a little bit like you. The hair's a little too dark.
Aw, that really makes me sad. Look at Shannon's action figure.
No, right. I'm more grossed out that these are out of the box and the value has been slashed.
Do you think these are Howard's or Emily's or Deborah's?
Howard's.
Probably, yeah. He probably had He probably had a whole West Beverly display, like in the corner of the basement dungeon.
Yes. 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 That really makes me sad. The Shannon Doherty action figure with rocket launcher and nunchucks. Look at her
It
on
looks
the right.
like it too. Look at it.
It
The
does look
the bangs they call it. The kids they call it.
That's pretty good craftsmanship for 1992 or 3, whichever this came out.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. That's not bad sculpting for that time. Jose Villataro, welcome, sir. JD's on. Oh, you know, I'm not talking about that son of a bitch. Although at some point we might. Isabel. She talked about. Yeah, that's Saudi stuff. Bocelli is Depp's kissing Saudi ass. You really think he likes Andrea Bocelli? I've read every single interview and article with that guy and watched every. Andre Bocelli has never come up at all. Now he comes up because Saudi Prince is obsessed with him. Do not buy that shit. That's how he's recouping his $650 million he lost, him and Will Smith. It is embarrassing. I mean, it is the very paragon of selling out. It doesn't get any more. And you know he's funding Gilliam. I don't want to turn this into a Deppening, but I've already brought Jump Street up too late. Here we go.
But it does look like you. This, of course, is the Brenda doll from Beverly Hills 90210, a show that I watched. Nice bangs. They really did a great job on her hair. And there you are, looking very well groomed. And
what's there?
That was a season 3 outfit, I believe, the first day of their senior year.
Oh, you remember? Okay. Yeah, Sarah, tell everybody what happened with them in high school. What they did.
Okay, what?
How they made them
9 seasons. Which one?
The opening when they repeated 11th grade twice, you said?
Yes, when they started season 1 is they are juniors. Season 2 they are juniors. The audience was so small in the beginning of season 1 that they just said, fuck it, we'll do it again. Nobody's going to notice.
Why not?
Did they go to summer? Did they go to summer and then come back?
Season 2 they came back in July. That was the first one. And then they kept doing that while they were in the high school years.
Right.
So they were famous for being like the first show because they were so popular at the end of season 1 that they came back like 2 months early. Never mind that the summer episodes are some of the most boringest crap you're ever going to see. It only gets good when the school year starts. But they did that and it worked for them. Became a juggernaut after that in season 2.
That's where Sophie B. Hawkins comes in, right? Damn, I wish it was your
season
lover.
3, yes.
Yeah. Yes. And Losing My Religion. Okay.
That's season
and that,
1.
of course,
That's the end
is
of season 2.
Aaron Spelling's daughter, Tori. That's a Tori doll with an appropriate miniskirt.
Right.
And she looks terrific. And that's like, hi, Jason. Hey, baby, how you doing? And then
This is Howard dusting off his puppet show skills here.
Never mind. In real life, the actors all slept with each other.
Yeah, you're gonna go into that later because the next clip, Priestley denies it, and you're gonna tell everybody what really happened. And I don't know him as a liar.
And he slept with both of these. He slept with Donna and he slept with Brenda, his sister.
I heard he slept with Aaron Spelling.
He probably did.
Well, by the way, doesn't Randy Spelling live by you in Oregon?
Yes, he is a life coach in, I believe, Eugene, Oregon, of course.
When I argued with Billy Baldwin on Howard, you remember how like they were turning my sound down in there. You could hear like me dropping out. I screamed at Billy. I'll never forget it because my friend heard me in the background say it. I go, "Shut up, you Randy Spelling motherfucker!" And they cut it. So you go and it's all cut out, like like a nepo baby insult. So I called him Randy Spelling. And he's a life coach. Randy Spelling. Now, you told me that Aaron left the kids high and dry, right?
Yeah, he gave the money to the wife, which I get, I get it. And then it was probably up to her to distribute. I think he left $2 million, boo-hoo, to each kid. And of course, she blew that in 5 minutes. She has a warehouse as her storage facility. And because she's a hoarder, much like Arm. And she just filled this warehouse with crap that she later had to sell because she was broke. But she was paying tens of thousands of dollars in rent for this storage facility alone.
I don't want to get into this guys versus girls, broads, tedium, Bon. I think the guys will agree with me. Do you think you broads are way too quick? You throw around hoarder too much now. Like you beat that word to death. Like if anybody has more that word did not exist until like 2010 or something. If you have anything passionate, like broads can have 80 closets filled. They're not hoarders, but if a guy has, I don't know, 15 NFL jerseys, you're a hoarder.
It's
You
very
broads
male.
use that
Yeah.
too much. You use it way too much. And there's certain items that don't qualify as hoarding. I'm revoking the hoarding word now. I hate it as
Anybody
much
who
as
sees the
I
branding.
hate it as much as
Okay.
gaslight, by the way. Gaslight is my least favorite word. Go ahead,
Anybody
Sarah.
who sees the branding tab that you have set up in StreamYard will know you're a hoarder.
Yeah, it's called preparing. It's called passionate. It's called having shit to play. What do you want me to do?
You use 2 things and you have at least 30 saved.
Sorry, Miss Perfect. I'm sorry, Miss Perfect.
Don't forget it.
Travolta, you want to take this for me?
Sissy! 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 I love you, Sissy. I love you, Sissy.
And I tell you something, this is fabulous to have a doll, but I would guess, now tell me if I'm wrong, take me into show business. I'm going to put you on a show, but you are going to give me the merchandising rights.
Right.
So you probably don't get a dime from any of this.
You know, it says that we're supposed to, and you know, these.
Listen to Howard. He's obsessed with licensing rights and drilling him with the money and stuff. Like, he's empathetic at all. Like, every time Howard talks money, all he does is root for them to not make as much. He's hoping he didn't get the rights. He loves it because all he does is compare in his mind. This is what I got. This is what they got. And he wants the hard luck story because he wants to know that he makes more money than anyone he's talking to at all times. There's not a stitch of empathy. That's what a sociopath does. Right, guys? Right?
Correct. Yeah.
We're going to become packet and marketing crazy.
Yeah, so
Innovative.
Bond is we've decided to go crazy with Pelican Brief drops, and Bond is you killed it last time, and I'm sure there's a lot more.
Who would have thought to market your brand with packets? God, what an innovator.
He's got weird ideas. He's got
Davyd Allen.
Howard TV donut right away.
Donut. All that cult speak. God damn it. That's all that like quasi Scientology speak. It really is creepy that Davyd Allen shit's getting things done. It's really creepy.
These things, you know, and I guess somewhere along the line we will, but we have no control over it, and they do whatever they're going to do, and
that kind of sucks. I mean, it's great you owe the guy something because he put you on the show and everything, but yet, from the talent's point of view, if it wasn't for someone like you, you're a good actor, you're a good-looking guy.
You talk about projecting. You could plug in Artie right there with everything he said. You know, like the move to Sirius. Like, he's supposed to be grateful to Howard, but yet there's no move to Sirius if Artie doesn't go along. He doesn't make his bonus. It's almost the same. Obviously, this predates that by over a decade. You know what I mean?
You attract a lot of the audience. Maybe he should share in the profits of the doll.
Well, you know, on paper it says we do. It's not so much the profit sharing in it, which is an issue, but it's not really an issue. The big issue is, you know, when we started on this show, who knew there were going to be pillowcases and sheet sets and, you know.
Priestley, Sarah, you know this better than I do, probably. How much did he benefit as a producer? When did he become a?
That's a Vanity title that they each one of them got in like the last 3 seasons.
But he did all right from that. Didn't he direct and stuff?
Yeah, he did many eps.
Yeah, but he like in his final season, I think is season 8. They put his name on every episode. Did he do something? Probably very little.
Yeah, she's right. I mean, you watch a show like 24, and Kiefer Sutherland was producer in the 2nd season. His name was just up there, which probably just meant, you know, if you've got any concerns about the show, you can just bring it up. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense, right? If you have the guy who's carrying the show and is in every scene, shouldn't they have some kind of creative control? Shouldn't they?
Not necessarily. You think Jenny Garth could have carried the creative control, and she got a Vanity title of a producer in the final season.
Priestley's a smart guy. I, from what I've heard, he's a super nice guy. He's a nice Canadian boy, as they always
look at that
are.
nose.
Yeah, I know. Look at him first.
Good Lord.
His nose is Sarah. That's a great observation by you.
Look at it.
Wigabod crane cube. Look at that thing.
It looks like a fake nose. Like a Halloween nose, right?
Tim Burton couldn't hire an art department to build that. You'd need a $200 million budget to build that nose.
It's so wrong. He's so wrong. He's
doesn't
just
belong.
all out
and
of whack.
Doesn't
It's
belong
all out
on
of
TV. Yep.
his limbs are all gangles.
He's a Marfan, misshapen
Yes.
Marfan.
Yep.
There has to be something
Archives,
medical
that's
wrong.
brilliant. Circadian reboot is a great callback and throwing my own terminology against me. You son of a bitch! Melvin headsets. I was doing that. I always scream. Melvin loves my anger. That's a manic depressive for you. And Melvin, like, he gets off on when other people get angry that I'm somehow speaking for him. Is there a that's Jeremy? That's a great question. Is there a rival for StreamYard? I think there is. Isn't there, Sarah, a new company that's
There's a few.
humbling
There's like
Yeah.
3 or 4 other ones.
Like Stream Elements or something.
There's one that's something IO, Stream IO or something. There's a gaggle of them. John, I love that word. I text
Gaggle's a
you
great
saying
word.
how much I love it all the time.
Gaggle's a great word. I got that
Never
from
heard-
Depp and my cousin. They both used gaggle before I did.
Well, you said something
up.
that brings up something you said on the Baldwin about getting your cousin on, and I said,
Yeah.
now I'm going to harass you because no one's going to harass you like I will harass you to get this man on because he got you into Stern.
I don't know how you remember that, but that is true. He and I driving into Port Washington together, we listened, and he predated me by about a year.
I wish we'd had a mic in the car for those
Yep.
conversations. How long was the drive? Just give me an idea.
45 minutes. Those are fun car rides. Those are really
That
fun
could have
car
been
rides.
a show if you had podcasting back then. Oh, you too. I don't even know him. I don't even know what he talks like, but I'm sure it's epic conversations.
He's a
right?
more rational, subtle
no.
version of me. He's a little more.
So you're the or are you gonna actually really try to get him on? Because you said he backs off when you. It's like dating, you know. You don't want to come on too strong about getting him on, and then when you go, you should come on. He goes, "Oh, I'm not sure." It needs to be consummated. That's what I'm saying.
This is a man who has been an extra for Dan Schneider. How hard could this shit be? You can't do this?
Exactly. What's the fear? Why is he?
No,
Yeah,
we work well together. We're very comfortable with each other. We finish each other's sentences. We might as well be brothers. He's my mother's godson. I'm his father's godson. It's very much like the Judices from Real Housewives of New Jersey. My mother's name is
loving this.
Teresa. His father's name is Joe. They're brother and sister. It's pretty crazy. Thank you,
am
Matt
begging
P.
you.
Bon Jovial did do a great job, and thank you, Matt P. He did. Definitely. Oh, definitely. I have this drop I want to show you. Let me just finish this. So let's get through Priestley. So he brings up Shannon here and stuff.
You get on the show, and immediately you take advantage of your new situation, which I would do, and you hook up with Shannon Doherty, or no?
No.
No?
No.
No love there?
No.
Really?
No.
I thought you guys were boyfriend and girlfriend for a brief time.
No, sir.
No, you did not. But you must take advantage of your fame immediately.
All right, Sarah, let everybody in on what really happened. He's lying.
He's lying. Season 1, both him and Shannon Doherty were just, and everybody will testify to this that was on that in that cast. They were all over each other, and they were dating, and the producers came to them and said, "Okay, you guys gotta not be so obvious on screen because you're brother and sister."
Acting is professional lying. Right, so brother and sister hooked up. Priestley's lying to him with a straight face. This is, by this point, when this aired, they're probably on season 3, so they only hooked up for 1 season.
Yeah. I think it was a very passionate, short-lived relationship because they hated each other by season 2.
Now, Sarah, in that season that they are in real life hooking up, would you be able to make a little sizzle reel of clips where their behavior shows that off? Do you think
they were pretty good about hiding it overall. I mean, you'll get her going, and looking at him a little odd, or they'll be sitting in the bed together.
I love this.
They'd sleep in the same bed, right? We would do the ones we did. They're in the bed. What brother and sister in high school lay in bed together? I mean, I could maybe see elementary school. They are in bed together all the time. They are
It's a
in high
sexy
school.
profession.
I know.
That was a drop, John. Just letting you know.
All right. Holden 190, welcome, sir. Good to see you. So we're going to be doing a 90210 watch along very soon. So there you had it set. Ida Greenbacks, good to see you again, Ida. I have been watching The Shy. I'm saying it right. And I'm on season 6 with all my black friends, and I'm getting my hoodie pass on. And I learn more and more about the blacks every time I watch The Shy. And I think about Ida all the time and all the locales in South Chicago and around when I watch it. If Ida would know, I recommend it, Ida, just because they do shoot it full blown in Chicago. And it's just a good, it's not perfect, but the first 3 seasons are great. Captain Fuller, Stephen Williams kills it in season 1. He should have gotten an Emmy. He plays Quentin Dickinson, an older drug dealer who is just kind of, he's bored with the Caribbean, and he comes back to Chicago to reclaim his and show the young drug dealers how, and to clean the city up in a way. It really is essentially playing the opposite of Captain Fuller, and he blows everybody off the screen. I mean, just for him. Yes, Melvin, Cosby orally forced me. You're absolutely right. Okay, here we go.
Because the best benefit of being famous and young and wealthy are the women. Do you immediately go crazy, or do you try to keep it under some kind of control?
Try to keep it under control.
You do?
You try, because
my fans are constantly all over me. We have no idea what it's like to be me. Actually, I sit in the house all the time, to be honest with you.
I stay home, too.
I stay home all the time, and as a matter of fact, I was telling you during the commercial, I watch Beverly Hills 90210. I throw my wife and kids out of the room. This is not, because I like to leer at the young girls.
Good.
He's such a creep. Where were we back then with this? Let me ask you this, Sarah. This is 1993.
Okay, so this is season 3 of 90210. Okay.
Okay. Let me ask you this. You have a father who is a Purple Heart guy's guy from West Virginia, military hero. Let me say, I'm missing anyone who donoed to us. Did I miss one here? I'm sorry, because I'm just behind.
Kathy C has become a new member, so thank you, Kathy C.
Thank you, Kathy C. Thank you, Hooper. Thank you, A. Smith. I see you in there. What the hell is this saying? Okay, so you got your dad. He's basically Howard's age, give or take 2 years. Okay, you catch your dad watching Dawson's Creek 90210. Okay, in his 50s, and 40s. What do you do if you walk in on your father watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Dawson's Creek, or 90210?
I'm thinking about it going, well, you're saying that, I'm thinking, flashing back to what I would catch him watching. And I think the weirdest thing was probably Baywatch. I cannot imagine him just watching a high school show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And leering at the girls. I would probably, a few flags would fly. And I don't know that I could ever speak to him again.
But what we know about Howard now, I think he's leering at Luke Perry and Priestley.
Of course.
Yeah.
He's not leering at the girls.
Yeah.
Right. So he's watching it as a gay man would watch it. He's not watching it as a horny Anthony Cumia pedo.
Well,
he's watching it as a...
I will say he probably was watching it, girls, for the fashions.
Yeah, him and Ralph, yes.
There's
also, I believe Ralph did watch it with him, right? A few times.
Yes.
There's also a thing about people that watch these shows when they're middle-aged is that they want to go back to high school, and this goes to Howard, of course.
Yes.
They want to go back, and they miss the freedom, I guess, that you assume you have in high school. All those kinds of things, the psychology of it.
Yep. Arrested Development.
Yeah, and as you've always said, John, that Howard wants to go back so that he can... He wants to go back now as Howard the millionaire and tell them all, you shouldn't have made fun of me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hollywood is high school with money, and I don't buy any of his horror stories from high school. Nobody can corroborate it. I don't know one person who's corroborated it.
That's
I always
scary.
Black guys going, nah, he was fine. White flight. His whole high school career was in Rockville Center, which is 99% white. It's not Roosevelt. He moved to Rockville Center, white flight. So don't buy I've gone into this a million times. Don't buy the Roosevelt thing. Let me finish this.
I do. I like to look at Shannon and the blonde one, not Tori, Jenny. I like her. Yeah. She's exciting. She is. No romance there between you and her? No romance there. No. But yet you have romance now with one of the women who was on the show, Christine, right? Yes. She was on the show. Is she? Are you going to come out here and say hello? Come out here. Come on.
This is actress Christine Elise, who played Emily Valentine on 90210. She is actually 5 years older than he is. And she looks ridiculous young. She was on 21 Jump Street again, played Quincy Thompson in season 4, a rich girl with a thrill-seeking rich girl. And Depp got tied to a roller coaster track during it. And they played, what was it? Was it The Cure? I'm taking a ride with my best friend.
Depeche Mode.
Oh, Depeche Mode. I don't know. Depeche Mode.
Wasn't expecting that. That was beautiful.
That
Love
was the
it when
song. I actually like that song.
God,
he was
sing
with
more. Oh.
He was with Christine Elise for a good 8 to 10 years.
And she followed
So I
Shannon.
give him credit for that.
Thank you, Ida Greenbacks. Yeah, Shannon Doherty had a great podcast, and that annoys me even more. Apparently, it was really gaining steam, and she was addressing all the stuff with the cancer and the shitty healthcare. And I think Ida Greenback said she did not go gently into the good night. That's a well said,
she
Ida.
Fought her balls
She
off.
fought hard. She was a great inspiration. I mean, to her last, and addressed all the. I don't know if I would take it as strong as she would. You know, I'm so susceptible to depression as it is. I don't think I would be doing that. I think I would have just. I don't know. It's hard to tell you, but I'm so knocked out anyway. I don't know if I'd be. I really don't see myself handling it like she did, and it sucks. And it's a huge loss because she was doing great things, addressing it and helping people. I agree. Arm says Saturn Dragonfly. Very celestial chat we have today.
I like that.
We're the only Western country without it. Thank you, Saturn. And of course, Sunflower weighs in. My sister had cancer in Canada. No bills. Yes, that's the way it should always be done.
Yes.
You prefer an astronaut. Babe Lewis writes, space will always be there. No need to dead. Okay, let me get rid of this.
Space, yeah. That's a whole other show, I guess. If they could take some of that money out of the military, I don't know if they need that trillion. A trillion. You know, you got to think about that. Yeah, and give it to healthcare. I'm talking give 100 billion to healthcare out of your military, and then just give the space guys, just give them another 20 billion. That's all I'm talking about. I'm not wanting 500 billion for space.
Okay, this is Christine Elise, really quick, and then I'll move on to Tori Spelling.
Seriously, this is beautiful. Now, seriously, this is a great situation now. Is this the love of your life?
Yeah, we got the same.
Yeah, it is. Oh, where's my microphone? Oh, here. Luck to you two, staying together and all that kind of stuff. The temptations will be there. You know that. I know that. There will be a lot of temptations, but it is a monogamous relationship. Yes, it is. Wow.
Oh.
Certainly. Well, that's really admirable. How long have you held on to this monogamous relationship?
A year and a half.
A year and a half. Very satisfying. All right. Jason Priestley.
God, she looks young. She's 29 there.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah, she's 64. She was born. That's crazy.
And he's just bombing. Howard is bombing. They're forcing it out. Like, cool.
I can't remember what the schedule for that was. That interview show, it was like I think it was once a week for half a year on like Friday night. And it predates the E! Show. And he had a lot of guests on that weren't on the regular show, like Phil Hartman and Rip Torn. They never did the regular show. Phil Hartman, I never heard Phil Hartman on the regular show. I would have remembered every second of it.
Would have been better if they were all on the regular show, and this show never existed.
Billy West had that story that Phil Hartman called him at the Stern Show and told him how great he was, like he wanted, and that I think he might have gotten him into voiceovers or something. Thank you, Ida Greenbacks. Love hearing you. Great post already, Ida. You're such a sweet woman. If the world was like you, we'd have no problems. And I mean that. I don't throw that around loosely. Right, guys? If everybody was like Ida, we'd have no problem. She's a school teacher. She's a great family woman. We are so lucky to have her in our midst, and that goes for everybody here. Autobot, great call. That is a fellow beat off brother to Charmed. How Soon Is Now? They did a cover of the Smiths' How Soon Is Now. I'll go about things the wrong way. I am human and I need to be loved. What do you, Elizabeth? How much you want to bet Alyssa Milano loves that song and she crowbarred it in the opening credits? How much you want to bet?
Yeah. Yeah, and they didn't have a song that was better than that. That was their best song by far.
And it is a spelling show. We all know that Charmed was a spelling show. It was all the same, a lot of the same, infrastructure and people involved. It feels like a spelling show. Not on Fox, though. It was on WB. This is Tori Spelling talking. She used to be. Now, let's go over this, Sarah. I think you remember probably better than I do, maybe. But I'm going to think that I. So Howard's, the 90210 guest that he have on, it was Luke Perry, who obviously did the MTV Awards and then bailed on the Fart Man thing. I'm going to get that for next time. He talks about why he bailed on it. Rest in peace, Luke Perry. Before I showed you this, Sarah. I had a video pop up in my YouTube feed. 31 deaths from 90210 cast members.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's all. That's all you can say
deaths.
about it. It's like Poltergeist.
Yes.
They all died.
Some of them were old. Some of them, a lot of them weren't. And it is Luke Perry's death was very strange. I think that was 2019.
Brutal death.
It was a stroke, Sarah. And you think it was for some chain smoking?
Oh, I don't know about that, but some people are just destined to have like extremely high blood pressure. Trust me.
Yeah.
I was married to somebody who later died from it, but yeah, I mean, he apparently, when you have a stroke like what he had, they have to crack your skull open to relieve the blood.
I'm
from
sorry,
the brain.
Sarah. Yep.
They have to relieve the pressure from the blood and the brain, where it explodes basically at the top of your brain. And apparently his was so bad, and they found out it was going to be almost impossible to save him when his blood just shot across the room.
Oh my God.
It was such a severe stroke.
Oh, no.
Now tell everybody about his son.
Oh God. Okay, there's WWE wrestling and there's AEW wrestling. AEW wrestling is trash, in my opinion. My favorite wrestler in WWE is CM Punk. I love him. He's gorgeous. Anyway.
You like him?
CM Punk. He's gorgeous.
Broad.
CM Punk got fired from AEW for putting Little Jack Perry in a chokehold. Little Jack Perry is known as Jungle Boy. But if you Google him, it's Luke Perry with long hair and a beard, and they even have the same physique. It is so weird to me when I see him. I'm like, oh, Luke Perry, dressed as a Jungle Boy.
Oh my God, it's very strange. I just looked it up.
How long has he been wrestling for, Sarah?
I don't know, but he has no talent. He's not over. He's not popular, but they keep pushing him. And ask Jim Cornette. He'll tell you all about it.
I happen to remember that Luke Perry was a wrestling fan. I don't know why I remember that. I remember him. He was like, and I'm sure that his son must have just like got immersed in it. From how you like the same shit your dad does, and I get he just went crazy with it. It's crazy. Did Luke ever watch him wrestle?
I'm sure, but it was probably really, really young. I remember reading like in passing an article about Luke Perry, probably his death, and it just in passing I read that his son was a wrestler. I'm like, okay.
So Howard's guest, this is what I remember. So you have Jason Priestley and Perry were on a lot. Tori Spelling was on a lot. Shannon Doherty only on once. Tiffani Amber Thiessen only on once. No Jenny Garth. No Ian Ziering. Nikki Ziering was on. Right? And who else? Am I forgetting?
Yeah, but she was probably on in like the early 2000s when his whole big push, he would like advertise everything he was doing with these 2-bit mid models, and she fit that perfectly.
Yeah. And so Tori Spelling was one of the, look, Tori Spelling takes a lot of shit. It's huge Nepo baby, whatever, and the plastic surgery, and she's not good looking enough to be on the show, and she jumped the line. She's sort of born on, but it's sweet girl. Like every time I hear her, I have not one bad thing to say about her. She's always a good sport. She seems to roll with it. She got a shitty hand recently, right, Sarah? She was wiped out. What the hell happened where her husband, I forget the
He
story.
cheated, I guess, but you lose him how you get him. So he cheated, I guess, a couple times, and I don't know anything about that. But I stopped paying attention to that couple after their reality show was up, and I did love their reality show, even from the first season where they opened up a little fake inn in Northern California.
Right.
I watched every season of that reality show, but yeah, I didn't care after that.
Well, I think it's safe to say it loved you as well. Melvin, oh God, Melvin, that's a great memory you have. Dylan relapsed by drinking mini bottles of Boulder in the woods. That's such a specific memory, Melvin. That's tremendous.
Before they go into their senior year, that's the summer of after season 2.
Yep. Dylan and Brenda. There's Katie Aldana, and Gunga Din says Dylan and Brenda can be together. Melvin, I listened to Shannon's podcast and I agree with you completely. Apparently it was tremendous, and it's a big, who's going to jump in that grave, right? What a loss. I was about to listen to that, and I'm not doing a Robin thing. I was about to say that. I was about to write him a nice note. I was about to listen to it. There's so many podcasts now, and you have to write them down. They just come and go in the ether out of your brain. And that, I had every intention, Katie, of listening to that because of the 90210 show we were doing. And I was, Sarah, you have like every book from them. Johnny Bye-Bye gave us every book from them, as a matter of fact. They all, I think everybody on that show has a book.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Tori Spelling, and she comes in and talks about how this is Howard revealing his ritual of 90210 to her, and this is just okay, this is your dad, he's in his 50s, and you catch him doing this at home. What in civilian terms does this fly? You are a girl in your teens, if not your early 20s, and you catch your father watching this and doing this. Where does this work? What heterosexual does this? I ask you.
Melrose Place, one of your favorite shows. You go, oh, no, my favorite is 90210.
And let's not discuss this week's 90210. Hey, Tori.
What?
Let's not discuss this week's 90210 because I'm only halfway through it and I don't want to know what happens. What's the matter?
Did you tape it?
Yeah.
My best friend.
Who's that? You got such a cute belly. Show it off. So many girls have. So many.
His homosexual, his fruit basket anorexia comes in here, of course, too. Fat shaming and all that.
Girls have such a roll of flubber on their stomachs that you see a girl who's got a nice flat stomach, show it off. And by the way, on the show, everyone now is wearing belly shirts, and I love it.
I'm sorry. He's beyond creepy when I fixate on what he is. A 50-something-year-old guy watching teenagers and analyzing their fat rolls. It is just beyond creepy. It is keto to the max. Go ahead, Sarah. I'm sorry.
Give you a little bit of insight, because at this stage, I only had the E show. He wasn't even in Portland yet.
I remember that.
I had a crush on this version of Howard.
You did?
Wow. How?
I know.
Oh, I know why. Because you're into fucking Marilyn Manson and all that crap.
Yeah,
you have that.
Right. Never into Marilyn
Manson. Yeah, you have that
sort of gargoyle like beats.
Yes.
Yeah, the dark side. Yeah, she's goth. She's a bit of goth.
I found this man so funny at this time.
He was.
That just kind of morphs into it. He's not bad
Listen
looking.
to his speech cadence back then. No, he's not Wicked Witch anymore. He's like funny. He's hitting on all. He hits his punchlines well. He asks great follow-up questions. He breaks balls. Jackie's writing for him. It is hitting on all. He absolutely was hilarious. If you watch the Magic Hour, that's kind of Howard at the peak of his powers when he did the Magic show with Magic Johnson, Magic Hour. I agree. I completely agree. I'm not gonna do this hindsight 20 where we hate him now and then nothing worked. No,
he was my hero. This era, my hero. I watched 4 episodes a night.
This is 96, by the way.
Mr. D.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't talking about Howard. I was talking about Sarah being goth.
Sarah I probably was at this point.
Yeah, there you go. So
because Howard attached himself to Rob Zombie. He tried to what do they call it? What's the real estate term when you you draft
Sublet.
onto I don't know, yeah, let's say onto Zombie and Marilyn Manson. And Ralph was trying to cultivate this Hot Topic goth blackface look for him. And
Let's not forget too, he also had that really cool 9 Inch Nail sticker on the door of the studio.
yes,
And he
yes.
knew
Yeah, I like
one song.
that.
And of course, right, Trent Reznor. I forgot about Trent Reznor, who has disavowed Marilyn Manson mightily, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
It's belly shirt 90210.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh, come on. How long does it take you to pick out an outfit each week, like what you're going to wear on the show? There's a lot
Pick
of.
them out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I love that show. I love 90210. It's my favorite show.
Listen to him.
Well,
Listen to this fruit.
As a 90210 historian, this stage of the show was crap. He only started watching it in like the last half of the run.
All
He
right.
didn't watch during the good times, but even up through the 9th season where it was just pure garbage, he was still promoting the show.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking he had maybe some kind of deal, but
Sarah,
Yeah.
Sarah,
he
that's
must have.
that's such a good point by you. It does not him and Paola, and doesn't come up nearly enough. There's no way. You know how they're always sensitive about free advertisement. Oh my God, it's a plug. He would spend. You're so. Why did we not catch it? We're so stupid. Why did we not catch it back then? He'd spend an hour and a half talking about 90210. Do you know how much they must have loved that as he super syndicated? What that did for that show? Do you know how much they would pay for that commercial?
What middle grown age? What man was
Right.
talking about 90210, even
Nobody.
at its height?
Nobody.
I wasn't, and I was bloody 16, 15.
If you got caught as a
Whatever.
25-year-old male,
Oh, I
watching
know.
that show,
It's
Yes.
hot. You
I know.
can't. I'm hearing this. I'm banging my head against the wall at how bad that is. Did you hear the banging? Yeah.
he would do an extensive review, and always positive. Every show is an A+. Sarah, it had to be product placement.
She's
It
right.
had to
The
be.
girl,
This-
Sarah, give this girl a prize right now.
Yes.
Give her a song, John. Just sing her something
Okay.
for a moment.
no.
Please.
What do we got?
This
for Sarah
is
here?
no. Hold on. Let me say this.
Vagina.
Lord. This
Katie
is the
Aldana had the action figures, by the way. Her and her sister had the action figures. Good job, Katie.
That's all right. She's
Yep.
abroad. Yeah, that's fine.
This is the junior year of the college era of his show. Nobody was watching.
Mm.
I
People
know.
gave up after Brenda left, and it teetered off from there. But nobody was watching this. Even though I'm watching this live on E, I'm thinking,
You still
what the
watching
fuck?
this?
Why are you coming around to the show at this stage?
Yep. That's a
And
great point.
John, Howard's peers on radio at this point, what were they generally talking about? Just kind of off the top of your,
Sports.
they weren't talking about
Sports.
90210. The other hottest DJ wasn't talking about 90210, was he?
No, they were talking about sports.
Yes, good.
Things with
See,
testosterone, yeah.
it is out of this world. And yes, this is one of his cool era of Howard being cool, but it's still, he's weird. Yeah, so I wonder how much they had to pay him to talk about this.
You remember
That's a
Artie
good-
used to make that joke about starting his monologue with Dancing with the Stars after the Super Bowl on Monday? But he would come in and thinking he's going to have this whole Super Bowl, conversation. He's talking about Dancing with the Stars for an hour.
And now
on
it
a Monday.
merged. Then it merged to The Bachelor.
Yes.
20-minute conversation about
Bachelorette,
the. Wow.
I have these two drops I got on my own. Just before
Oh,
I went on.
I'm ready for this.
It's a long time coming. But I don't know what took us so long to do this.
You got slapped the yarmulke.
I did.
Absolute classic.
Get ready. You got to get that. And then I have this one. I'm sure you remember this.
We're shocked, John. You use the N-word a lot.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
just
great.
enough to not get a copyright.
That's a good visual one. I like that. Well done.
Thank
well
you,
done.
You know what I mean. Anyone knows you do. Drops are endless. Like you're watching TV, you hear something, you could do anything you want. I cannot tell you how much fun it is creatively to just keep doing this. And you got the audio over there, so feel free to lay it on us whenever you feel like it. In the city, hot in the city tonight. Greco. That's from Booker. Oh my God, Vaughn. That's the Billy Idol.
Depp! Greco!
God damn it, Vaughn. That was good. God, do I miss that Goomba? When did I say that? God damn it! I don't even remember this.
Neither do I. We can only imagine.
Kidding.
I'm not kidding.
He tapes it every week.
I love that goddamn
And
show.
he doesn't want anybody to blow the suspense for him. He doesn't want anybody to tell him what happens. He wants
Wednesday night
for himself.
And Wednesday night, my wife had to go out to some parent-teacher thing, so she calls me from the car. She goes, "Honey," I go,
God forbid you go, right? My
Yeah,
wife had
he's
to
not
go out
go-
to this
he's
parent-teacher
too
thing.
cool.
You're too cool. You talk about being disconnected from your. There's not a shot in hell he cares about his daughters enough to inquire about their school, and you know it's a private school.
Well, I was wondering why you were saying imagine his kids catching him watching this show. They didn't go anywhere near that bank vault basement.
Oh no. He had it so.
Imagine what he had hidden down there.
Look at what JJ Thrash says. Ralph's definitely over there watching 90210 in that basement with a locked door.
Mhm.
I think he slept over there all week. And
"Yeah, get a blank tape. Give the housekeeper. So tape 90210."
Yeah, even his wife is addicted. She can't leave the house.
And then we have two tapes. She tapes her copy of 90210, and then I have Keith tape my copy.
And you know
who's Keith? I heard this today. Like, who's Keith?
Never
Anyone?
heard, but never.
Guys, anyone? Keith?
You know who you
that was
need
the
for
biggest
this,
takeaway
John.
for me.
You
What,
need
Bob?
your buddy Boff
Well,
to tell you. He'll
This
know,
is
won't he?
96, right? So Casey Armstrong's not there. We can't ask him unless Keith was still around. Everyone's gonna go. It's not Keith the cop. I mean, that's the first from Anthony's. It's some other guy. Keith. So did he have like an assistant we don't know about at the fucking? I gotta know who this is.
This is one of these strange moments when none of us know.
I know. Usually I got all this stuff.
That's right. We don't. This doesn't happen often. We're stumped.
We listen with a dog whistle, and I don't know who Keith is. I
Yep.
don't. Thurl Bailey. Josh Foster remembers the Thurl Bailey episode. Sarah said at NC State. When a 6'11" black guy with a set shot and goggles dated Donna. You remember when Mrs. Martin went, "Donna, I don't want you dancing with that basketball Negro." And the
Nobody
reason
remembers that.
God,
because
really?
No, she did not say that.
She did say that. I'm
did,
telling you, I
actually.
heard that. Deshaun Hardell was the guy's name, and the actor who plays him played Black Lightning on CW. The most recently, the DC hero Jefferson Pierce, Black Lightning, one of my favorite DC characters, as a matter of fact. Right, Autobot? I swear to God, Deshaun Hardell played Black Lightning on CW. That's pretty good. Kelly and Dylan did, in fact, bang Autobot in the summer to Losing My Religion?
No.
Or was it Sophie B. Hawkins?
That was when they the episode before Brenda came back from Paris.
Okay.
They spent the night on the beach, but they had banged before.
Life coach, aka cult leader. Thanks again, Hooper. Candy Spelling's Penthouse, all about the tendrils, who's so Hollywood. Goddamn, she is got her ear to the goddamn pavement of Hollywood. Candy Spelling's Penthouse is directly across from the tendril office in Sony. We got to know more. How much younger is Candy than Aaron Spelling, as a matter of fact? Anyone know? It's got to be kind of some different, right?
I'm looking it up for you, buddy.
Okay. Don't worry about it. I mean, if you don't find out.
No,
You know
it's
how-
fine.
Watch it together.
No, I don't want to watch it with my wife.
Watch it separately.
Yeah, so when I'm staring at the girls and stuff, I can feel like I'm dating.
I wonder what your wife is doing.
I don't know.
You just nailed it. He just admitted to it. When I stare at the girls and stuff, I can feel like I'm dating. That's the rest of the development.
There
we
it
just
is.
talked
See?
about. Yeah.
Candy Spelling, 78 years of age.
Okay. And Aaron is what, 80? It's probably age appropriate. 82, 83. Aaron's dead, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but she watches her copy and then I watch mine.
I thought that Aaron Spelling had this affinity for. I thought he was gay, first of all, because I thought he was like. I thought he had a gay crush on Elvis. Remember that guy Vincent? Was it Vincent Young, who came on later? He looks like Elvis.
You know
And
why
then-
he was on? Because that was Tori's boyfriend.
Oh,
So
I
he
didn't
got
know
the
that.
role. He's the worst actor in the history of that show.
He's the worst. Yep.
He's horrible.
You are not, as a matter of fact. And then obviously Luke Perry was constantly compared to James Dean. So I felt like Aaron Spelling was obsessed with that old Hollywood like teen idol. And then
Well, he was supposed to be the Luke Perry replacement. So he came on in the college years when Luke Perry was kind of fading away. When Luke Perry comes back, they have seen a few scenes together. Luke Perry eats him up in every scene.
Here is Rose McGowan talking about replacing Shannon Doherty on Charmed.
34Cs are showing. Man.
Just the very top.
Now that you are broken up with Marilyn Manson, I can finally tell you that you're too good for him, honey. Let me tell you something. Your new job on Charmed.
I'm super happy.
Yeah. And everyone
But do
says...
you feel as if you have to come in there and make that little pipsqueak happy?
Who? Alyssa Milano?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you have to make
Remember she called her a pipsqueak.
Wow.
That's so catty Robin right there.
Yeah, because Alyssa wasn't known as being like Shannon, like a pain, was she?
I think she developed a attitude on this set of Charmed because a lot of people ended up not liking her.
They became producers, and she got Sarah's right. Then eventually she became a diva, which is unavoidable. She's an odd level of fame, like she's really strictly TV, right? She's never been a movie star in any way. I think she was in like
Poison Ivy 2.
Poison Ivy 2, of course. I beat off to that at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I love that movie. Oh, I had the VHS. Yeah.
Embrace the Vampire too.
Yeah, that's the best, John. We could do a whole show about Embrace. Oh my goodness. Like the VHS tape and all the lines had start coming across the screen at certain points because of the rewinding. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Katie Aldana says Rose McGowan was beautiful here. Yeah, you're so right. I mean, look at her.
There's nothing better than Aldana infiltration. You're so quick, man. That is so lightning quick. You got that. That's crazy. God damn it, Fred. Pack it in. Retire.
Little pipsqueak jerk.
She sounds like a real jerk.
What? She's very beautiful, actually. She's quite funny.
Is she your friend?
We're very friendly. I don't have to make anybody happy.
Isn't it true that Shannon Doherty was fired because she was a big pain in the ass and you were brought in to be the normal one?
Small pain in the ass.
I'm not a pain in the ass at all. I can confirm that.
Are you
Artie is freshly new to the show. In the rotation, they're doing the rotating jacket chair, and I think he just got hired here. This is like his first or second week.
pain in the ass on the set?
Not at all.
You're not. So they're happy with you.
I'm very, very good friends with the crew.
Now, when you come in after the show has already started, how much do you make compared to the other girls?
That's a good question.
Way more.
Don't ask, don't tell. But, there's always a reason that you dance with. Thank you.
So, Rose, wait a second. Talk to me about this Marilyn Manson thing first, all right? Okay. It's old news.
I like your hair like that.
You do?
I do.
She's going. This is a good look at him. I think this is when he's first getting hair plugs. Right, we tracked it down right around this year. We figured like right about 01 is when he started to play around with what hair system, hair replacement, plugs.
I like that.
You do?
I do.
What is different about it?
It just seems like it's shaped better.
A better shape.
That's often the only thing you can do with really, really curly hair. It's more of a shape.
My hair is like a bush.
And you're doing like the topiary thing.
Yeah, you know who cuts my hair? Edward Scissorhands. He just goes in and he just...
It looks good that way. No, I used to dream yours hanging over the top.
Let me tell you something. I've embraced my curly hair. For years I tried to straighten it. I don't anymore. I just let it...
We've often said that Howard is Ralph's Tim Burton creation. Then he gets to play Tim Burton on Howard's Anatomy.
In the morning, it's a big, giant bush, and I like it. I like it, and
just
I walk out...
use a little hand lotion, run it through the ends.
That's right.
Make it sleek. You're good to go.
And I groom myself. I'll be honest. I heard you were out there.
He started to develop all the talking points about, covering up the hair plugs and the wig and whatever we want to call it, hair system.
Well, there's footage of him sitting in a chair for an hour before the show starts getting his hair curled.
Getting his tendrils, strategically, replaced. Every follicle is manufactured. Lemony Snicket. Okay, so there's a little Rose McGowan. Oh shit! Bon, you're still with us, right?
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I got.
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay. This is Shannon Doherty herself. Shannon Doherty's on the show one time, and she comes in here to promote Playboy. And this is 2003, fall of 2003. Where is this? Okay.
Shannon Doherty, and I'm about to go on Howard Stern.
What are you going to talk about today?
Listen to that. The Howard TV riff and music there. Did they steal Marilyn Manson's "The Beautiful People"? The beautiful people.
Nah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Doesn't it sound like the?
They got a guy to record it all. It's his brief would have been make it sound like the beautiful people.
Right. Okay.
Can I before you
all sorts of things? Whatever Howard.
Go ahead, Sarah. I'm sorry.
Mr. Smith is buying gift memberships and donating them to the chat.
Yes.
So everybody, please go and enable your accept gifted memberships.
Thank
you.
You,
go into
Ace,
your
man.
settings.
It's been a loving in the chat. The last 5 minutes, they've all been hugging each other and saying, "Hello, I love
There's
you."
a great
It's
energy.
just
There's a
they're
great
all
energy.
over each other. It's pornographic.
Incestuous. Welcome, Black Morticia Adams. Holly Robinson is going to be on her podcast too. I read that. Thank you, Black Morticia Adams. She sat in on our Brad Pitt Jump Street episode. Very underrated. We call her the Nubicorn because she's an old soul like Davyd. Big Prince fan, likes Babyface, and she's very much part of the Deppening. And Holly Robinson, in fact, was going to be on Shannon's podcast, and I think it was going to be next, and we never got to. Shannon Doherty was on Jump Street in season 4. But a lot of people don't realize that. Before 90210. A depless episode, I might add.
Then we won't watch it.
Brings up, which is kind of scary, but should be fun.
What are you expecting in there?
I'm expecting lots of love and that it's gonna go great. I'm expecting the best. I think Howard's great.
Is there anything that you really don't want to talk about?
No, of course not.
Everything's on the table.
I'm an open book until I close it.
Shannon Doherty is here. Shannon Doherty has married a lot of guys, dated a lot of guys, been on a lot of TV shows, and now she's naked in Playboy. No beaver, but lots of boobs. Good-looking girl. Take a look at Shannon. Oh, yeah, baby, looking good. All right. No problem there. Yeah, she looks all right. No problem in the looks department here.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
I'm good.
I haven't seen you when was the last time I saw you? Like 20 years ago?
It was back in 90210, right?
90210 days. How are you?
I'm doing really well.
90210. I was shocked that you left that show.
Did she leave or was she kicked off?
Hi, Robin.
Hi there. How are you?
All of a sudden you appeared with a killer question. Nice one.
Kicked off or you left?
It was very mutual.
Let me ask you something. Because you've got a crazy reputation. You're a girl who fights.
Sarah, they avoid it all the time. You know what's the real reason she left? I'm sure you've heard it 1,000 times, and it's been they obfuscate around it. What's the real reason she left?
Are you talking about 90210 or Charmed?
Yes, 90210.
She was partying too much, and the rest of the cast basically hated her. Everybody hated her except Tori Spelling because they were partying together.
So she was fired.
Yes.
Yeah.
And did Priestley liked her, but that wasn't enough to save her.
No, by the end, none of them liked her except for Tori Spelling.
She quit or she was fired?
She was fired from 90210.
Okay. But she said she quit. They want to make
it's
you
the
can't
cover
fire me, I
story.
quit. Yep.
Now, is she talking about 90210 or Charmed? I apologize.
90210.
Okay.
Crazy reputation. You're a girl who...
It was very mutual. All of a sudden you appeared with a killer question. Nice one.
Kicked off or you left?
It was very mutual.
Let me ask you something. Because you've got a crazy reputation. You're a girl who fights back. You don't take crap from anyone. Is that accurate?
That's accurate.
Okay. So when they had the Beverly Hills 90210 reunion,
yes,
you were not... Tori Spelling refused to appear with you.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Autobot. Luke Perry did, in fact, appear on AEW a few times.
That's
with
probably
his
what
son.
killed him.
Huh. What did he wrestle? Did he do?
I doubt it.
Oh, you never know. They've done weirder stuff than that.
Well,
I mean,
Tori
Cyndi
looking creepy
Lauper
there.
wrestled, for Christ's sake. What, Bon?
Tori looks creepy there. Ooh.
Not true.
True.
Not true.
Why wasn't she there?
Oh no.
Her reason for not being there actually has nothing to do with me, but it's something I mean, it would be devastating if it says. I can't say that.
Whoa. What do you mean?
You'd have to bring Tori on the show and you have to ask her. I can't answer for somebody else, but I do know for a fact it had nothing to do with me because, like everybody spoke about it.
Are you at war with her?
Absolutely. Over what?
Didn't you don't get along with her now?
Absolutely. I just saw her recently.
Didn't Aaron Spelling's company, who ran Beverly Hills 90210, didn't they badmouth you?
That's her dad. That's not her.
So aren't you sort of mad at her too?
Absolutely not.
Are you mad at her dad?
No, not anymore. The great thing is that everything that happened.
Shannon pulls off the little gap between her front teeth. It doesn't.
She had that put there. She didn't have any. Yeah.
Wow.
She got new teeth.
Really?
And she kept the gap in the front.
Didn't Madonna do that?
Gap.
Yeah, probably.
She had it separated.
Madonna popularized it. Yeah.
How about Vanessa Paradis making out with Michael Strahan, and they hook teeth together? What do you think about that?
Big gap.
What was wrong with doing Beverly Hills 90210, making a lot of money, and then?
First off, we weren't as well paid as everybody thought that we were because we were a big cast.
She goes on to say here, Howard drills her about money and makes sure he's making more than these people. That always makes him feel great. And then she goes on to reveal what she got for Playboy, and I didn't realize they made. She was a huge get for Playboy. Like Playboy's goal was to get the biggest star you could find. Who can we? And they would just scrape the bottom of the barrel sometimes. Can we get an MTV VJ? Can we get? And she, for them, was a huge get.
They were paying the big names like $1 million.
Yep, that's what she kind of goes on to say.
Wow.
Yeah, Gabrielle Carteris, Holden. She had never done. She's Howard's age too. She had never done the Stern Show. That's a good one. I forgot about Andrea Zuckerman. That's a good one. I never forget the time I was hanging out at my sister's a lot when she first got married and we would watch all. She's the first one I ever know to watch. Her and my brother-in-law watch Seinfeld before anybody else watched it. And it was not on Thursday. It was going against Home Improvement. And we watched this. And Andrea Zuckerman comes on screen, and they're still in high school. And my sister goes, "She's in high school?"
Yeah, she's 30 or whatever.
She was like 30. So all you broads know how all you broads look. And you could see through the smoke and mirrors and makeup and stuff. And you can tell age better than we can. I guess you have that sort of like the feminine, all you broads hate each other. So she was like, "What? She's in high school?" Like my sister's actually 6 years younger than Gabrielle Carteris, and she had just gotten married. So she was like, "What?" It was
Good
ridiculous.
Lord.
I think Ian Ziering was the second oldest.
Fox was not a full-blown network yet. They didn't have the affiliates that they do now.
$17,500 a
Well,
week.
that's inaccurate. I don't know. I don't know where people get these numbers from, but
You didn't get $17,000 an episode?
I'm not.
That's nothing. 17 grand an episode. Depp got
Why?
45 grand for Jump Street and predates it by, in the late 80s. That's
Why is
not a
she
lot.
denying it? Because I just looked it up and it says exactly the same, 17.5. And then when they did the reboot, she apparently earned $70,000 an episode. But, we're going to change. We'd have to adjust for inflation.
Yes.
So back then, 17.5 might have been 30 or 40, but these days. But 70, I mean, it sounds low, but back then it probably wasn't. But you think about what you just said about the Playboy, which blew my mind, to get $1 million. And if she was getting 17 just for hours and hours of work on one episode,
It might have been more than $1
money.
million. It might have been. She doesn't exactly say. She hints that it's 7 figures, but it could have been more than that. What about when Tamara?
500,000 would be just so much.
What about what Tamara Francois was offered for Playboy? That usurped that 3 times, I bet. And she turned
Is Tamara disappointed I'm here or in something I said?
No, it's something you said. She's agreeing with you about something. I'm always so behind. There's Chief Phony Feathers. Because of the hiccup we had in the beginning, it threw me off. And I try to give attention to the chat, and it's hard to...
Melvin. Melvin, you are a font of knowledge. Melvin gives us the facts. 17,000 in 1994 is equivalent to 36,000 today. So I wasn't too bad. I was just 6,000 off in my calculation. Not bad for an Australian.
I'm gonna say that I'd say this all the time. 90210 is if 21 Jump Street and Happy Days had a kid. So you have Richie and Joni are Brenda and Brandon.
I see where you're going. Yep.
Fonzie is Dylan. The Peach Pit is Arnold's.
Yep.
Steve Sanders is Ralph Mouth. What am I forgetting? Al is Nat. And Hanson and Brandon are the same. Depp's Hanson. Jump Street had a lot of the same writers and producers working on 90210 after that. After Jump Street ended, they brought them over to 90210, and Brandon drives the same car Hanson did. That effing Mustang again, that overrated '60s Mustang that they're obsessed with, and it's the
only edginess that I feel is with the Dylan subplot with his father. There's violence, explosions.
Yeah.
You could see the 21 Jump Street, but I can't believe that they worked on 90210. God.
They would also fight off
They did
Jump
a
Street
terrible
plot.
job.
You know, the tackling the teen issues that Jump Street did first. So they would do the anorexia and AIDS and all the teen issues.
Oh, imagine if they'd mashed this together and Depp had come in on a case. Oh,
we said that we talked about that on a Jump Street watch along,
I'm sure,
right, Sarah?
yeah, I'm sure it's a logical.
That would have been great. Oh,
yeah.
That would have been if Hanson goes undercover in West Beverly High, and that was.
And these girls are all trying to hit on him, like Tori's just bug eyes are just falling out of her head for him. Oh.
He falls into that cavern on her chest and.
Thank you for your honesty, Sarah, says A. Smith.
We could fan fiction that episode, though.
Oh,
John.
right.
We could write a script for Depp coming in, and then we could act it out. We could do that. Fan fiction.
They never did an undercover cop plot on 90210 and all that time. They should have did it. They definitely should have did it. It was what a missed opportunity. That's so fanfic, right, Scout Finch? For some reason, his personality was cool then. Yes, about Howard. Silk Spectre, welcome, sir. Yuck. There's Mr. D. Nothing about goth. Oh, there's nothing goth about Howard Bond. Sigh.
Us.
I addressed
So you got more than 17,000.
I believe so.
So that's a pretty good payday.
It's a great payday. It's amazing.
When you're a struggling actress.
Hold on, it's an amazing payday, but you also have to think about 5% to an attorney, 5% to business manager.
This is so hilarious. Howard's pretending he doesn't know all this. He's going, oh yeah, really? You got to give that to really? An agent gets it? He's acting like anything to deflect off his own money. He's acting like, oh really? I didn't know. That's all he does is negotiate that all day. Grift. Yes, man. Welcome, G Canada. And as he's here, I want to thank everybody who helped out there in the Baldwin watch along. G Canada, Monique was there. Johnny Meyer was standby. He like a seat filler. He actually did an NBA 2K thing, acting wise, which is I'm so jealous. And then Marta sat in 2 of the days, and we had a lot of fun. It was a great rotation. We wish Sarah would have been there. Bon, it's the time of that was too weird for you.
I couldn't work out how to.
Yeah,
I don't know how to come on and. Or anyone, it was difficult because people were complaining about you talking over it, and then I just didn't know how I could even coming on, because if I wanted to riff like this, oh God, but what a slow, unorganized trial that was, John. It made Depp's look much more organized. The amount of time they were farting around with projections and stuff, and just give us your thoughts on how you felt. I mean, you were set up for another week of live shows, weren't you?
I was fine with it. What a wonky shit show, It was ramping up, which was the problem with it. And we had Sunflower Dragon, John O'Reilly, and Frank the Tank, who were like spot on about everything legally. I'm coming at it with as a civilian. And I'm trying to just I remember getting was it Steph Taylor complimenting me on my civilian legalese prowess. That was great. He's right. I mean, I really killed it on that. And
I saw some people chastising all of you, saying
no,
you
that's
guys
the
have
point.
no
We're coming at it as
legal
civilians.
understanding. But was
It's so-
Alec gonna step up and testify, or was he just not going to?
I felt like he was ramping up to. I felt like you could see him simmering. He cannot not take the spotlight. He cannot help himself. You don't understand. He can't blend in the background. He has to be the show. You could see him. I could see him plotting. His head was spinning. He was ramping up to take the stand. I know he was. That was going to happen. If that had gone on 2 more weeks, he easily would have.
Whoever the producer was must have suggested Melania must have had a piece of tape with an X on the seat.
Yeah.
She has to sit right. Hilaria has a piece of tape where she has to sit so we can get her in the. If she'd been behind Alec, would have been a disaster.
She might be the most reviled pop culture figure in all of pop culture right now. I don't know anyone who's as hated as she is. I can't.
It didn't help with her in the background. I kept looking at her, going, "You annoy me." And as I think Melvin or someone said, this interrupts everything for Hilaria, because now she can't organize having another baby. There were jokes flowing.
Yeah, I know, constantly. Right. She got pregnant by touching his back, and Katie Aldana goes, "If my dad watched 90210, I'd be effing mortified. Luckily, he watched sports and Bobby, like you are supposed to do as a father." It is so great. Go ahead, Bon. I'm sorry.
I just feel that I wish we had got to Alec testifying. I don't know if he was going to, but he would have taken the Johnny Depp route of putting on a real show. Can you imagine Alec getting up there? Give us a bit of what Alec would have done, John. You're the man for this.
Well, we saw him the cops questioned him, so he's inquisitioned by the cops right after the things. He kept going. It was a cold gun. I was giving her a gun as a mob master, and then Helena and Hannah are 2 different things. And I was given a cold gun, and I didn't think anything of it. I've done films before. He brought up fucking Hexum in his when he was questioned by the cops. He knew Hexum and he knew Brandon Lee immediately. I couldn't believe that he rattled. It was almost like he planned to shoot her. Like, is he? No, it was so weird, right? Like he, the guy from Cover Up. I need a hero.
One of my favorite shows
of
the 80s, and he was pretty cute for back in the day. And Brandon Lee, all the cute ones get shot.
Right.
Now, I can't really comment on the Alec Baldwin. I don't know the case. I didn't pay attention to the first trial. I don't know this trial. It's just rich guy gets off. That's how it works. You get good lawyers, you get off.
Well, what would have been the repercussions if he did go to jail? Right. Let's say he gets what Hannah Gutierrez got. Let's say he got a year. What's the repercussions? He comes out and resumes his fabulous life. What would have been people? The court of public opinion already has convicted him. Right, we're looking at him like he fucked up. He's this insane maniac producer who couldn't wait. He wants to pocket the money and he has no patience for anybody. We're looking at him like he did it. Right? Is he exonerated in the eye of the public? We right. That's what you want. You want the public to be on your side. That did nothing to public opinion. I would rather have the public on my side than go to jail.
Yeah. Well, my only question is, she went to jail. Now that he found a loophole, does she benefit from that same loophole?
Not as far as I know. She got a full 16 months.
But she physically placed them in the gun, didn't she?
But he pulled the trigger. So who?
But he didn't know anything. See, this is where it gets.
But he was supposed
mental.
to know. He was supposed to know.
He's not allowed to check the gun. That's what they said. That's all this union stuff. He can't pull it apart. He's not allowed to.
Anyway, it's going to. I don't want to harp on this. It is going to change the industry like you can't believe. Anytime there's anything, why you need a real gun in any way, shape, or form is the dumbest thing. Why anyone needs to make a Western is doubly stupid. So all those things together, it is such a shit show. It is going to change the industry. The careers that got ruined from that movie, I cannot tell you. The whatchamacallit lawsuits, the civil lawsuits coming at him are going to be crazy. Producers and anyone, craft service people, all of them left the business and they had in their minds, this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. and he screwed up I don't know how many careers.
The incompetence is insane
Yes.
because it's like the submarine, the Titanic sub. How many movies are made a year with people shooting guns? And it does not happen. It's just like, it's the same thing. Crazy.
And nobody would have seen that damn thing. The deal was he was going to get Helena Hutchins' husband was supposed to get a piece of the movie, and that's why they insisted on finishing it. That's what his alibi was as to why they insisted on finishing it. It's only so the husband gets a piece of the proceeds. Who's buying this movie? Where are you releasing it?
When is he going to put? Yeah, how could you? I don't even get it. I can't believe it. Maybe he's just a perfectionist and has to finish off everything.
Well, it's like Howard's biggest fetish is a flat stomach, says Jeremy Harrelson, which no hetero guy ever cares about. Couldn't agree more, Jeremy. Couldn't agree more.
10% to a manager, 10% to an agent, and then 40% to the government.
But Aaron Spelling
still
said
an amazing amount of money.
You were difficult to work with, Aaron Spelling. That was what he was running around saying.
Babe Lewis goes, Sarah had a crush on that craggy fucking face. I just do.
No, reread it.
Yes, Sarah, I had a crush too.
Oh no!
Here
we go.
I was trying to. Also, I had that craggy face. Look, I just do. I thought he was kidding about all the creepy stuff.
Yeah, me too. I thought he's a family guy. He's just playing the horny dude. He's probably a great father. Yeah, well,
On time, you were a little bit of a problem. Were you a disruptive force?
It's so simple. If I was that disruptive, why would he do another TV show with me?
Maybe he thought you'd grown up.
Did you have to beg him to go back?
What do you think about that? Why are you casting her as the lead in Charmed if she's such a pain in the ass?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No
answer. Is that Tori coming to the rescue, Sarah?
Probably.
I think so too.
Absolutely not. He offered me Charmed.
By the way, you're not wearing a bra, are you?
I am. It's black lace. It's nice.
You look great.
Thank you.
Really?
Yeah, I saw you and David Letterman last night.
Oh, how was that?
You were amazing.
It was fun.
You know what? You totally turned it all around. You interviewed him.
It worked on that level.
It was your show.
Any chance I can bang you after an appearance like that? Does it turn you on enough to?
That much?
Did it turn you on? And
Sarah Hooper wants you to sing the Divinals. I touch myself.
Sing it, God.
I sang that earlier today.
Go ahead.
I already sang it earlier today.
On here?
No, before the show.
See, this is.
Anybody else.
That's why I'm so tired right now.
I touch myself. Go ahead, Bon. Go ahead. Go ahead now.
No,
Go ahead.
I'm done.
Why don't you sing?
It doesn't take long, does it?
Oh, no. Go.
No,
it turned me on.
Okay. One last thing. This is before we say goodbye to Shannon Doherty, and I'm very sad about this. Do you guys remember she did a 911 call where she saved someone's life from Suicide Day?
No.
In 2012.
Vaguely.
Do we have a copy of the recording?
I have the recording.
Oh,
I have Howard's version of it, but I have the real recording because you know how when Howard does this thing where he's about to play something, but he never plays it, and he just teases it and teases it and teases it.
It ruins it. Tells you the whole thing, and then
so
plays
I'm going to play a little bit of them, and then I'm going to play the whole call from TMZ.
I'm loving this.
Hi.
Oh wait, that's the first one. That's the real one. I knew I'd confuse it because I used the same picture. I knew I'd fuck that up.
It's okay.
It's the panic you have. Okay, Howard. Here we go. 2012. They start the news with it, by the way. This is what's great about this, and I think I let it go to the end. He talks about us at the end, trolling him on Twitter. This is our first days of trolling. When I get mad, when he would block me and Beth would block me, these are the very first days of trolling him on Twitter. There's not a question in my mind. He's talking about Gary Puppet and me and, bring back Jackie and all these people. There's not a question in my mind. This is when we were on Dog Shed.
Don't forget, not my bro.
And not my bro, of course.
Well, that's a good way to get out of it.
You know who I can't figure out is Shannen Doherty, the actress who used to be on Beverly Hills 90210.
Yes.
She, to make a long story short, she called 911. She was on her Twitter account. A girl said she was going to kill herself.
Right, I heard about that.
And afterwards, after she was sort of heroic, Shannon Doherty, doing the right thing, she demanded privacy. That's the part I can't figure out. I mean, who is...
On Twitter.
Well, who remembers her? I mean, this is the greatest thing that ever happened to her. She saved somebody and got a little publicity. Now she wants privacy? Hasn't the last 20 years been enough privacy? Now's the time to celebrate that someone's paying attention to you.
Well, she's always been a little wacky.
Right. By the way, how long before those Australian...
I'm sorry, Sarah, what?
In those 20 years, she's one of the rare actresses who actually invested her money properly.
Yeah.
And she knew what she was doing. If she needed to work, she would have worked.
I
The
think
name
she had
was
a great
still there.
career. I think she had a great career. I think she did films. I think she did a lot of TV. Didn't she make a comeback? Didn't they do a reboot of it and she played a guidance counselor?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. The first remake.
2007
And then they did a kind
or
of...
something.
She was a drama teacher.
Yes.
Kelly was the counselor, please.
Who do you think's more internationally known, her or Howard?
Her?
Oh, Shannon Doherty.
I think so too.
Easily.
I don't know who
yeah.
he thinks I don't know who he thinks his audience is outside the United States, if it's the United States. He's barely permeating outside the tri-state area. Who does he think he is?
DJs who made the phone. That's crazy to me.
And back to that Shannon Doherty, I think we have a bit of her 911 call.
Is that right?
Yeah, take a look and see if you see
Right,
that
I got
up
it.
there.
My name is Shannon Doherty, and
Cool.
I'm an actress.
Wow.
Can we get to the emergency?
Honey, this isn't a casting. Hi, this is Shannon Doherty.
Yeah, our chat's great. It's so Canadian. It's like Alpha Flight in that chat. It is so great. It's like half Canadian, right? God, this is a North American show, by the way. It's an international North American show.
And it's very nice that Howard has never had to dial 911 in his life once. As somebody who has had to do so multiple times in the last year, you have to give him this information.
Yes.
Now, did she have to say she's an actress? Probably not. But you basically have to tell them exactly who you are.
Wouldn't it be more helpful to track you down and it's full transparency? You're not pranking them. And I agree. I completely agree. G Canada goes, I use the N word and they made a crack about swimming in black people and Tamara Francois canceled me. That's true. That is true. But
Wow.
G Canada's a great guy. He has
Can't
my
believe
back.
he's racist. I'm shocked.
I don't believe he's
Wow.
racist at all.
Hey, I'm an actress. You might have seen me in Beverly Hills 90210 or perhaps that show with the witch. I think we edited this. She went on to give all of her credits since she was 9. Hi, this is Shannon Doherty with you.
Actress?
Yeah, when I call,
Let me jump ahead to
just give us the emergency.
Right. So is it really an emergency if you can do all that talking beforehand?
Right.
Maybe this was the wrong number to call.
So did they find the kid who was trying to kill herself that was talking to Shannon Doherty?
I don't know.
How many followers could she have? Look it up, Benji. How many?
here's the Twitter, and guess what's coming next? This is us. He doesn't bring us up by name. This is us. I remember this. It was all the usual Twitter trolls, and I was one of them back then. I was way more of a imp on Twitter back then, and we were all over him all the time. And you'll hear he doesn't bring us up by name.
Followers does
How
Shannon
many
Doherty
followers does Shannon Doherty have?
And do they all want to commit suicide?
We're full-blown haters at this point.
I would think mostly depressed people would follow Shannon Doherty.
Shannon has 184,000 followers.
All right, so she obviously is very involved with them, calling 911 for them. I wonder if I would call 911. My Twitter followers, I hope they kill themselves.
You're going to be happy with it.
Some of them are so vicious. I mean, okay, see ya.
Thanks again, A. Smith.
There's a couple that really are just constantly bashing me.
I found this by accident.
And you don't get rid of them.
No, I don't delete anyone from my account. I'm like, you know what? I did in the beginning, and then I just went, who cares? You know what I mean? Like it's even sort of weird to delete someone for what they...
Right.
Like, just go ahead. What do you want?
You're getting into that Eric the Actor territory where, you're trying to control everything.
Yeah, like at first when I went on Twitter, and I'd read like, hey, Howard, you're a fucking jerk, and you suck, the show sucks.
I'm way more poetic than that. I don't say you're a fucking jerk. I mean, granted, I'm not. I don't have the IQ of Sarah over here, 180, or who did I compliment the other day about? But I don't know. I'm not autistic. I don't say you're a fucking jerk. I think I'm a little more poetic than that. Now, Gary Puppin, on the other hand, Lauren Marie says Tori Spelling was very pretty back then. Yeah, I mean, there were times where she honestly had the best figure and looked like a California girl all that time. I agree, Lauren. That's very nice. It's easy to bash Tori Spelling, but I kind of agree with that at times.
That's everything. I go, well, that's it. I'm deleting this guy. So I would. Then he'd sign up 2 seconds later under a different name and just bash me again. Say, oh, you fucking asshole, you deleted me. And what am I doing, really? Am I going to spend my day deleting people? So now anybody who wants to go on can, feel free to bash me.
You're right.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You could just not read it.
I have to read it. I have to monitor what's happening.
Well, anyway, Shannon Doherty stayed on.
That was the Doom, Rose McGowan and the Doom generation. Lauren, such a film buff.
One of my favorite movies.
God, Lauren, that's a great poll by you.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, a lot. That's kind of like a cult following, right? Jawbreaker and Planet Terror.
I think Doom Generation was more underground than Jawbreaker, but Jawbreaker's good. But Jonathan Schaech in Doom Generation. Ooh.
Oh, I know. He's so swarthy. I know.
You can talk about Alyssa Milano. I can talk about Jonathan Schaech.
Who am I? Adrian Grenier over here. Doesn't he look like the guy from Entourage?
No.
Too, by the way.
Yeah,
the hottest Rolling Stone, the hottest cover maybe in the history of magazines. Rosario Dawson and Rose McGowan are standing back to back nude, bumping asses with guns. And what's the movie they did? What was the Robert Rodriguez movie they did where she has the stump foot, the stump leg?
I know what you're talking about.
I forget the name of it, but the two of them were on the cover of Rolling Stone, back to back.
On the phone with police as they.
Okay, so this is the actual 911 call, the full blown from TMZ, and I enhanced the volume for you people. Don't tell me I don't do shit to prepare for this.
This is good.
Got the video and
adjust your ear volume. He's probably going to blow your ears out.
It's soft. You want to hear it, for Christ's sake.
Hi, this is the police department in West Hampton, New Jersey, correct?
Yeah, we dispatch for him. Can I help you?
Yeah, this is going to sound incredibly strange because it does to me as well.
Okay.
My name is Shannen Doherty, and I'm an actress. I am on Twitter, sadly, and there is a girl that is threatening to shoot herself, and she lives somewhere over there.
Okay.
They think that this guy's beating off to her. If you hear the heavy breathing.
Oh.
It's just,
and she lives somewhere over there.
Okay.
I have no idea the correct response. I'm completely untrained to deal with somebody threatening to commit suicide, especially via Twitter. And, you know, I know that she has stated that she has a gun and going to shoot herself.
Okay. Do you have an address, or does she give an address?
I don't have an address. I have a phone number, though.
Like a home phone number?
I think it might be. It's a 267 area code.
Okay.
Phone number.
Yeah, that's 609-267. Go ahead.
I can actually ask her right now.
Yeah, I mean, if she'll give you her address. What's your phone number, ma'am?
Sarah, can I ask you, did Shannon Doherty always live in LA, or did she move out east?
I can't tell you for sure.
I had this feeling she moved out of LA. Because didn't they say New Jersey in the beginning of the call?
I think she came from the South to LA.
Oh yeah, didn't she come from Tennessee?
Something like that.
Originally,
yeah.
Yes. I thought I read that like last year. We talk about because we brought her up on the actually you and I did a 90210 and we brought up her cancer. And we were calling her a hero and how great she was for taking it on like that. By the way, Christina Applegate is just like that right now. Isn't she going through a similar
I think
trajectory?
she has MS. She has MS, I believe.
she had a very sad article or interview like last week and says that she's really like kind of losing her spirit now. She's fought too long and like it's just she just can't keep it up anymore. And these are both two Fox superstars, right? I mean, she was the prom queen to Johnny Depp's prom king in the original days of Fox, right? I mean, they put that effing network on the map. Those two, Depp and Christina Applegate.
And she said she lives in West Hampton, you said, correct?
Yeah, I asked her where she lived. She said, it's awkward to ask her for an address on Twitter just because how many other people might be able to see it. And like I said, I mean, she's definitely not... they're fully mentally capable at this point, and
right.
It's kind of been like an ongoing thing where my security guys actually told me to block her.
Wow. Listen to that protocol. She has security guys. Sarah's right. She must have invested really well if in 2012 she's running around with security still.
It's probably an assistant.
Yeah.
Or and they're telling her to block her.
SEAL team.
Yeah, SEAL Team Shannon.
She's one of those that easily I can picture having a stalker too.
Oh yeah,
that show is still around, and
couple that with Charm too.
Yeah, exactly.
Charm, I don't know this for a fact. I'm just guessing. Charm plays about 6 episodes in a row on TNT. I haven't watched all of them in a row. I'm just guessing. It's something like that. Yeah.
You think Robin would be a bigger fan because she loves to sit in a recliner with her flesh growing into the fabric, watching reruns on TBS, TNT.
But I had that joke I kept beating to death. A Bones marathon on TNT.
Yeah.
Bones is one of those shows that nobody watches. Fear with Marky Mark. Remember Alyssa Milano was in Fear? Was Reese Witherspoon in the other broad?
Yes.
And it was set in Seattle.
I saw all of these movies, John.
Movie.
Yeah.
Because she's super aggressive and does very erratic things. So they were kind of like, you need to block this person. And we haven't done it because
There's Crazy Robin, who is a social. I bet you Crazy Robin's dealt with this, like 911 calls and Suicide, and I guarantee she has experience. Welcome, Crazy Robin. Crazy Robin's getting lathered here in the chat. People are just going crazy. Crazy Robin, you are everyone's black friend today. When they have to go to you are everyone's black friend.
I felt bad for her, to be honest. But, at the same time, I'm now sitting here, like, freaking out and held hostage, and I can't even do anything.
Yeah.
Sarah Hooper wants to know where he signs up for memberships via phone.
You know what? A phone is difficult. I've learned that you got to do most of this YouTube crap in the settings on an actual laptop or, desktop.
After this, I'm going to play the business. I forgot to play the Mark Harris business.
Okay.
Okay, she just gave me her address.
Yep, that's, let's see. That is in Southampton, or West Hampton.
I mean, obviously, I would, love it if you guys would just call back and let me know.
Yeah, I'm actually, we have the police on their way out to that address. I'm going to keep you on the phone in case she says anything else while we're on the way out there. All my coworkers can't believe who I'm on the phone with.
Buddy, come on.
How great would it be if she went off and then Rose McGowan took her place on the phone? I've had
a similar job to what he's doing.
Oh,
it's one of the hardest jobs in the world. You don't say that.
You did a Suicide hotline?
No, it's a similar job.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you what I did, but you don't really say that. Even if you know who you're talking to, just shut up and do the business.
She goes, I'm going to go away, and Tiffani Amber Thiessen's going to jump in for me here. I got to go.
Go tell them hi and tell them thank you because
He said hi and thank you. I said you guys can't believe who I'm on the phone with. So she said hi and thank you for helping her. They all want your Twitter account.
You got it. And my dad was from Ridgewood, New Jersey, so I happen to love New Jersey.
Oh, this is a Hamptons, New Jersey? Her dad's from Ridgewood, New Jersey, she said. originally.
Okay. Yeah, we just went through all those storms down here.
I know. How are you guys doing?
We did fine. We're in Burlington County, which is closer to Philadelphia, so we didn't get it as bad as the shore area. So.
Wow. Oh God. Rest in peace, Shannen Doherty.
Perfectly lovely on that call.
I agree. And she's humble, and she's convivial, and she plays along with their starstruckness. They know it's her. It's unmistakable. That's her. And she is a hero in that situation. She didn't have to do that.
No.
Rest
She
in
could have
peace,
just
Shannen
blocked her
Doherty.
like security told her to do.
I think she's an outspoken Republican, but I think she went left when
Who cares?
the healthcare system failed her. So I surmise.
In your dreams.
In my dreams. Speaking of dreams, I dreamt of Richard Simmons last night, and I'm not going to belabor this. I'm only going to play a little bit of Richard Simmons because Davyd, of course, Davyd has to step in for this, right? I mean, it's just not. David's going to make a compilation for next week, and he's going to be on. I just found this by accident. It wasn't by accident. It was there was some skill involved. This is Richard Simmons being interviewed by Cindy Margolis at the Upfront Awards in New Orleans, written by Jackie Martling, and you can see Jackie's jerking himself off and celebrating with Fred as he watches Richard Simmons get interviewed by Cindy Margolis, who's doing like kind of correspondence work for them at the Upfronts. This is 1999.
This is the crap I would fast forward.
Oh, this is funny. This one's funny.
Going near Richard Simmons. Richard Simmons hasn't talked to us in over 2 years.
Right. Dreammaker.
Yeah.
So this is Richard Simmons on the outs with them. He was on in 97. This is 99. They are in New Orleans at the Upfronts, and Cindy Margolis is about to interview him.
We are going to make our dream come true.
Cindy, don't wait around. Just go right in.
Cindy, go in. Go ahead. Don't be shy, honey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tell him you have an eating disorder.
Oh, Richard Simmons. Oh, good. Go in.
And the birds are saying, I love you.
I want you to keep a keen eye out. Watch Jackie celebrate before his own line before it's delivered by Cindy Margolis.
Good for Jackie. I still love him.
What is it she's wearing?
I
don't
know,
know, but
feel it. You were drawn to me, weren't you?
I was drawn to you. Did you see her eyes?
I'm getting nervous.
Great. Say hello, everyone.
Ask him if you can make. If he would make your dream come true.
At the convention.
Yeah.
What do you think? It's like a dream come true.
It is a dream, and this is wonderful, and I have a big dream I want
What
you
is
to
your
make
dream?
come true.
Wait, she wants a dream.
Okay.
All right, which
There we
guy do you
go.
want? Him? Which one do you want?
No, I want you.
You want
Look at
me?
him.
Okay,
My
I'm here.
dream would be,
Okay.
I know this is a hard thing,
Okay,
but focus.
okay. Oh, I'm
Do
going to
you
focus.
possibly think that
Okay.
maybe you can make up with Howard Stern?
Oh!
Richard, tell her I'm sorry. He ran away. He ran away. He ran away. What happened, Gary? Did he run away?
That's what he did to me yesterday.
He ran away.
Yeah.
He's out of here.
Well, you know, he's just upset because he wants to be her so bad.
I know. He wants to put on that dress.
He can no longer be in her.
What happened, Gary?
He's so bummed out because you so fooled him.
I know. We fooled him. Cindy.
Oh
Cindy, where did he go?
Even got it because he ran in the back.
Cindy, you did such a good job.
Okay. And this one, you guys want me to save the Gary for
Yeah, save it.
because it's a very big moment when Howard chases him into the elevator. Okay, one quick one. This is Richard Simmons at Gary and Mary's wedding in 1992. So some of the footage we've played before, but Katie Aldana says Shannon went into this bit on her podcast. She was often late to the set on account of her boyfriend who had a drug problem, and Ian's earring called. Oh, that was that guy Rick Solomon. Remember that guy, Sarah?
There's a couple. I don't know if it was Rick Solomon. I don't think he went back that far. But she was really into Judd Nelson.
Didn't
around
she
that
date
time.
George Hamilton's son?
Yes, she married him, Ashley Hamilton.
Ah, that's right. That's right. And she was single when she passed away, right? She was not connected.
Yeah,
anymore?
her husband had cheated on her while she was fighting cancer.
Okay. You
The
really do
announcement
know-
of her death, basically, she was She was surrounded by family and her dog.
This is Richard Simmons at Gary and Mary Dell'Abate's wedding in 1992. You'll see Sarah's favorite stern Gary's friend Frank, who looks like he's just classic Long Island, but he actually looks like Pete Vukovich and Gorman Thomas had a kid.
Nobody knows who that is.
My memory of my wedding day was that it was my wedding day. It was also a little bit of stress because I was inviting all the guys from...
Sarah, do you know the history? I'm thinking you do because you're obsessed with Gary. Richard Simmons and Gary's brother?
Yeah, Gary's brother was dying of AIDS, and Richard Simmons met with him?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
And they developed a
just befriended
relationship.
him.
Yes. And
Not
so
sexually.
Richard Simmons was very close with Gary's family
Mhm.
all throughout as he got his balls busted by Howard. It
Richard
was like
Simmons did a very nice thing by meeting,
Yes.
especially back then, with someone who had AIDS.
Make no mistake about it, the guy is the real deal. He's the sweetest thing on the face of the earth. But
Absolutely.
you can't not goof on him, and this show was punching down all the time, and the paradigm of bullies. But Richard Simmons got invited to Gary and Mary's wedding.
work all week long. The guys that joked around that they were going to play some sort of practical joke on me.
They were good, so we were all kind of pretty good.
I was pretty sure they wouldn't screw with me, but you never know.
14th with the ringlets and whatnot.
I remember that.
I always loved that hair. But when you look at pictures of it now, it looks very out of control. I don't know how it looked so normal then.
It was a summer wedding. It was a July 3rd wedding.
We were all sitting together.
July 3rd. My cousin got married on July 3rd.
Robin's like,
Maine.
another wedding that I'll never be in.
If we can ever get our hands on Bon, Johnny Bye Bye, Bon, do you guys have when Monique did a crossover with Stuttering John's wedding on the beach?
I think Bon has stepped away for a minute.
Did he step away? Son of a bitch! He's Aussies, that fucking penal colony. That is an Aussie exit if I ever saw one.
Together, everybody who was invited from the show, and when the doors opened,
Itchy wedding, and Gary was, in shape, and Mary was just beautiful.
That almost moved me to tears, when I looked over at Dominic Barbara and felt like I wanted to throw up.
Richard Simmons was hysterical crying.
Why don't they have footage of that? Why don't they have footage?
He was such a sweet guy.
God damn it. Like Ida Greenbacks, if everybody was like Richard Simmons, we'd have no problems in the world.
Hysterical crying, which was really funny. I got a kick out of that.
Richard Simmons.
Look at him prancing through Uniondale.
Look at his date. He's quite the ladies' man.
This is either Syosset, Long Island, or Uniondale. I think it's. Look at those bushes, Sarah. Look at that perfect angle on that bush. That's some Scissorhands shit. Look at that.
Simmons was a friend of the family.
Hire that landscaper. That's a guinea if ever there was one doing those bushes.
He was a good friend of mine from the show. I'd had him to dinner at my house a bunch of times when he.
I got a kick out of that.
Richard Simmons was a friend of the family. He was a good friend of mine from the show. I'd had him to dinner at my house a bunch of times when he found out I was getting married. He took my wife and I out to dinner because he wanted to meet her. So he'd just been involved with some stuff with my family, and we invited him.
I think his mother was really, really thrilled that Richard was there. I think there were some people that didn't necessarily want to go into the men's room at the time for some reason. I don't know why, because Richard was very forward and forceful, and he liked to hug you at very inappropriate times.
It is amazing what gay guys can get away with physically with women, assuming that they think women know that they're gay. Did you ever see the clip of this? I'm going to sound gay knowing this guy's name. Did you ever see the clip of Isaac Mizrahi and Scarlett Johansson at the Oscars red carpet?
Yeah.
And he's poking her breasts the whole time. And she's kind of like...
He got in trouble a bit for that.
He did?
He did. Not as much as, a straight man
A hetero would,
but,
yeah. But you know what I mean. Gay guys can like grope a woman and they go, "Oh, yeah, I know you're gay. You can do whatever you want. You can finger bang me. You're gay." Tusano Okashi, that's pretty low. Think about Cheers in the late 80s, right? That's
Talking about per episode.
Salary. Yeah, $17,000.
We had hired Scott the engineer.
Oh my
He'd come
God!
to me and he said,
Richard making out with Mary? What the fuck? That's what I'm talking about. Look at this. Look at this. Could I get away with that?
No, but you'd try.
What
Maybe
if
not
Scott
with Mary.
What happens if Scott the engineer did this?
Yeah.
Richard Simmons had a relationship with Allison Stern, as a matter of fact. So he would call
He
when they
named
lived in
he
Old
named
Westbury.
Ashley.
Yes, that's right. People, the good catch, Sarah. Good one. That's exactly right. And so that they tell that story, and I feel like Howard did tell it, but it's in the book, Private Parts, and I'll save it for next time. But
You
it's
know what? I
about
also, if I can make a suggestion about next time, can you find the E-show episode where they send Stuttering John out to interview Richard?
Okay.
He's opening up like the fashion. He's doing a exercise thing at the fashion cafe or something.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
one of the
You remember the
first
year?
episodes I watched, and I still remember lines from that episode.
Can you ballpark the year for me at least?
I'll
To
figure
go
it out.
through decades.
I'll let you know.
I agree. There's nothing worse than a woman who doesn't support other women. I agree. I hate men, and guys know that. And this is what I'm talking about. Mean Girls. Yes, guys. Yes. So true. Thank you, ladies. God damn it. I've never hated men more than that exchange with Sunflower and Lauren Murray. Look at this.
We had hired Scott the engineer. He'd come to me and he said, listen, like,
Who do you think can satisfy a woman more, Gary or Richard Simmons?
Richard Simmons.
He was hitting the erogenous zone there. You see him on the neck over there? I think there's a
I know
vein.
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. She delegasmed.
Look, you see her face?
And later he was let in on the fact that Scott was kind of like put up to that. But
God, Fred, get a personality. Good God. Jesus, right, Sarah? Can you punch it up for this Howard TV, which they're not getting? Jesus Christ, right, Sarah?
Mm-hmm.
These guys have to do all these interviews. Howard, who's getting all the money, doesn't do one interview for this, right? Doesn't have to do one thing. It's everybody else, and they don't make a cent. Fred doesn't make a dime off. Jack McKay lives forever, Sarah. Who's Jack McKay?
Oh,
Dylan's
I thought you had a drop.
No.
Dylan McKay's father.
And he played he was on the Hogan Family, right? Didn't he play?
Yes, and he also played. Yeah, he was on the Hogan Family. He was the father, and he was also Roman Brady for a time on Days of Our Lives.
You and the soap operas.
Well, they were talking about Our House, and I was getting excited because Deidre Hall, the great Marlena Brady from Days of Our Lives, co-starred with Chad Allen, Shannon Doherty, and Wilford.
I remember that guy.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. I loved that show.
Life is such a sweet insanity. The more you live, the less you know. In the heart of every family, there's a love that's waiting here for you. That was the Hogan Family theme, right?
Yeah.
Jason Bateman and this is Sandy Duncan, right?
Sandy Duncan, Valerie. What's her name?
Harper.
Valerie. Yes, the first one.
Yeah. I think
I watched that from the first episode, and I was devastated when she died.
Yeah, there was a JMD. There was a gymnastics episode with it was performance enhancing drugs. So there was a football player and there was a gymnast, and it was about anorexia, and it was
that the 80s anorexia taught you getting a nosebleed meant death.
Yes.
So remember they cut away. She has a nosebleed, and apparently she dies. I don't know.
Mike Ogletree was the character's name. And who's the guy again from? He's from Oregon, Sarah. He was on Melrose Place. Good looking. He's like a Dollar Tree Tom Cruise. Oh shit! He's in everything. This guy. He played Courtney Cox's boyfriend on Friends, who was working at the movie theater still. What is his name? He's from Oregon. He's in everything. I know you know this guy. His name was Mike Ogletree. Okay, and so with that, we're gonna resume Partners in Marbles, and here is Howard getting suspended in 2005 for over promoting and he loves it, and this proves that they had every right to sue him.
It again. Well, maybe you heard the news, maybe you didn't. I was suspended on Monday.
Thank you, Kevin Kane. Welcome to the Deppening LOTUS Notes family, Kevin Kane. Where did he go? I did it again where I clicked.
Is that Hooper, though? It's the same avatar as Hooper.
Who, Kevin Kane?
Yeah.
Gee, who am I, Kevin Kane
I don't know. We'll find out
Maybe
someday.
it is. Maybe it is.
Can I tell you about this era in time? with all of
Yeah, I
his
was going to ask you that,
suspensions.
Sarah. What's your fandom? When do you drop off of the show? Because you know a ton, and then at a certain year, you decide I'm done. So when are you done? Because you were done before I was.
I woke up. I remember waking up the day Jackie was gone, and I was like, "This." I said it out loud to myself. This will never be the same. But I kept listening. And then John left. Oh God, why would I even say that now? But to be honest, John leaving also took a big chunk out.
Yeah.
And then I grew and this is not popular to say, I just grew tired of Artie and the crap. And
You're not alone. There was a tedium to them crutching on his drug problems and the fat shaming. No, you're not alone in that. I love Artie, but I get it. I get it.
So my listening kind of spaced out. I remember I'm driving to a casino one day and I turned it on and the infamous Chris Rock interview where Artie just ruins it is playing.
Yes.
I listened to that and I was just kind of like, okay, I'm done. So it was probably about 2009, 2010. I was really done.
But I thought you went before that. I thought you told me like in 2005, you didn't really make the transition to Sirius. You didn't feel like buying it, and you kind of just.
I was in and out. What I did, I was 2000 to 2008, let's say, I was by myself pretty much. So back then, an $800 paycheck every 2 weeks I thought I was rolling.
Yeah.
Fitting that in with, paying the rent on an apartment, a new car payment, all that stuff. I have no help. Serious, I couldn't afford it. But what I did do, instead of paying the $30 a month for Sirius, to set me up the way I wanted to be set up, I just subscribed to Howard TV for $10 a month. And I did it that way. So I wasn't listening every day. I would catch like the highlights basically on Howard TV.
I wish I could have given you torrents back then because they were there, and I knew it all. I knew how to get around.
But see, and I joined Stern Fan Network in 2000, even before you did. So
are you sure about that?
Yes.
I think I joined like 2 weeks before you did. That's what I heard. Anyway,
how do you know that?
Pretty sure I did. No, I'm an OG. Yeah, I'm an OG at Stern Fan Network, and I know
I was a long time lurker before I started even posting, and the one and only Nemo is the first one to kind of be, quote unquote, befriend me online there. So I would post here and there, but not a lot. But then you and I started talking and etc.
The early days of Stern Fan Network is maybe the best message board in the history.
Nothing better than that.
I don't know if anything was better than that. The earliest days of Stern Fan, it was the Wild West. You could post downloads and stuff. Nobody cared about. There were no rules. Nobody cared about anything, and it was just a crazy, just exchanges. The political incorrectness of it, and the Stern Show was really rocked by that. But you told me that the Opie and Anthony one was worse. You said that they had a whack bag, right?
Yeah.
And that was more like sociopathic or something where they would just like.
No, Whackbag morphed into the Opie and Anthony subreddit, which was sociopathic and totally enjoyable.
Right. I never saw that. I never went on that. I didn't know that.
Oh, you missed out.
I'm sure I did. I keep hearing that I did. Tamara Francois said, hey, Arm, Fox has made the black shows like Living Single. Living Single, actually, I think it came out before Friends did. It was the Black Friends, and it was better. We are living single in a 90s kind of world. I'm glad I got my girls. Martin, Rock, which I believe was live with Charles S. Dutton, a Johnny Depp actor. He has been in 3 Depp movies, Charles S. Dutton, Nick of Time and Secret Window. He plays the shoeshine guy in Nick of Time. You remember that? He took out his, he had the wood leg. Yeah, I love that guy. Charles S. Dutton. He was in Rudy. God, good poll, Tamara. Rock. I forgot about Rock.
Oh, and I apologize. Also, what helped me kind of move away from Stern was the God, what was that thing called?
There you go, Melvin. There's ice. Go ahead, sir.
What was that dildo machine?
The Sibian.
Sibian, thank you. I know that. My brain's fried. But day after day, just having these nasty blown out sluts come in and sit on that thing and fake it till they made it.
Couldn't agree more. I was tired of the word. I was tired.
My
He said
favorite.
that word 1,000 times a show. I agree.
I could listen to them, bag on Jackie's 10 houses for 5 days straight and still want more. I don't care when like the celebrities came in. I didn't care. And I would fast forward. The best shows are when they're just, sitting there bullshitting with each other.
Yeah, I agree. I like a good celebrity interview though. Howard was a
It's got to be
fantastic
someone
interviewer
special.
back then. He was as good as they say he is now. He was the interviewer then that they claim he is now. That this fake notion that he is no. His interview skills in the '90s were nothing comes close to it. There's nothing like it with Jackie writing him questions. That he deserved a legend for, without a doubt. Tori starved herself to death and was ugly being a short belly shirt. Nothing made her pretty or innocent. Mr. D says Marky Ramone's wig back then, word as Howard went to the same wig maker in New York City. I have a good clip.
I believe that.
Yeah, here we go.
You get the news. I didn't even see it happen.
You missed me getting suspended?
Yes.
Well, after the show, I was, of course, trying to get out of here, and I've always told Tom, don't talk to me after the show because my head is splitting, and I want to go back and chill out.
Right.
Which is all I'm really interested in. In fact, I wish he would have suspended.
Is that power play to go back and nap? Go home, you stupid wig.
I know. I never understood that. And if you look at like the Sirius office that he had, it's like a closet.
Yeah. Why would you do? Is that just a power play?
You have 500,000 square feet in a penthouse somewhere. Go nap there.
A mile and a half away with a huge stretch limo waiting for you with the Howie pole and a private garage. They had the garage. I don't think people realize it. And someday we'll get to this. And I'll show you the garage, how he backed into. I actually have the freight elevator in a video. They don't want you to know. It was a Gary. It was basically following Gary around for a day. And I got to see the freight elevator he uses. So the limo backs into the freight elevator. And then he's home in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Why would you stay there? Is that some power play to make, look, people are scared of me? What are you doing? What is that? And TM, the fucking transcendental meditation napping. He's such a fairy.
But it was always, these headphones give me a headache. I have to go lay down. Okay.
Are you doing charity work? Are you not getting $100 million a year? Are we supposed to feel sorry for you? Because did you not choose this profession because the sound is coming through your perfect headphones with the Darth Kermit modulation?
The staples in the wig glue and the staples were pulling on his scalp skin, I guess. I don't know.
That's it. No, you kid. It is all about the hair because he's got to position the damn headphones in a certain way. That's exactly right, actually.
Suspended me during the show. I mean, really. I mean,
the
just
chilling out could have come a little earlier.
Yeah, the chilling out could have happened immediately. So I walked out of the studio, Tom, and I have to speak to you for a couple of seconds. So I said, okay. And I walk into the green room where we keep our guests.
Melvin, why are you quoting? Melvin does this thing where he'll quote you, and then
I know.
Gary's brother is dying of AIDS. Sarah. It's not even like a super quote. It's like
I know. It's like just passing.
It's just a basic statement. He's so funny.
But when I'm dead and gone, I want my words written down, with ink and a quill on paper. I don't know.
I don't think people realize, like, Sarah was like a Gary aficionado for a long time. She has a Gary video on her channel.
I have 2 Gary videos.
You have 2 Gary videos, and they're both great.
I only have 57 subscribers on my personal channel.
I'm very proud that you used the song that I recommended.
And well, yeah, the second time I did.
Yeah, I'm very proud of that I contributed to that video.
If you guys go watch those, ignore my editing crap. I was learning.
I still think it's good, though. I think you did a good job. This is my favorite video you have on that, without a doubt. And I'm not even
a
huge animal person. I can't help it. I mean, this is just, and the song, and I think you got to tell the backstory behind the song and everything. And where is it? Where is everyone's favorite cartoon cat? Here she is. I've been always meaning to tweet Kathy Lee Gifford and show her that video, and she'd retweet it. Like, oh my God, that's crazy.
That song has been stuck in my head on a loop for decades, ever since Howard covered that album, did a review of that album in great detail.
Well, that was Howard's one time he did an actual prank call, right? They did like a press conference with Frank Gifford.
Yeah.
I hear you're a bit of a hero. You discovered a lump in your wife's breast. You care to comment on that? No, I don't care to comment that to you. Okay. Okay,
We
great.
got to do a Kathy Lee episode.
Yes, I totally agree. I was thinking that last week. In that case, who's got nicer breasts, Kathy Lee or Susan Johnson? Gil, get him off. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out. And then he dumps him.
What was that dildo machine?
Is that Bond playing a drop of you?
That's already a drop.
Oh my God. He almost fooled me again there. I almost like, why is Sarah saying that again?
He
almost got me again.
She's doing a callback to the dildo comment from 5 minutes ago. What a girl.
Cooper thinks you're chasing a big ass spider out of the house.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah, by the way, what are those beasts that crawl around that island you live on? Those are some of the freakiest looking animals and insects I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know what they are.
Ewoks
the beasts
come from
that
Australia.
crawl around. I don't know.
You have spiders, the likes I have never seen in my life.
Yeah, but you don't see them around where.
If I saw one, I
kind
would
of
burn. I would
live.
burn the neighborhood down if I saw one.
When I was a kid. I lived next door. We lived next door to a big like football field. And there's all these trees along the side, and our house was on there. And you guys have no idea, like possums jumping on the roof and huge spiders, like the size of your hand in that area, coming off that field. Spiders, rats. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and just look on the wall, and there's one like the size, it's smaller than your hand, and I'd just go, oh my God. And I have a friend who loves animals, and she'd go up to a spider like that and put it into her hand and hold it and take it outside. And it almost made me, I'd be sweating, John, you know what I mean? Like I'd just go, oh my God, I can't believe you can do that.
I would have cut her hand off.
You know what they call that, right, guys? Arachnophobia, Sarah's favorite movie with John Goodman.
Spiders don't usually bother me, but it's the size of the spiders in Australia that bother me.
What is the discounted rate for a wedding the day before the 4th of July is what Sue Monster wants to know. That's a great question. And look at wise-ass Brendan, the male Sarah, has this very funny comment underneath it. He goes, hey, Arm, if everybody was like Richard Simmons, we'd have no kids in the world, you dumbass.
Wow.
God, so right.
I always viewed him as
brutal.
Not gay, but asexual.
Are you saying Richard Simmons can't breed? Is he saying that Richard Simmons can't breed with a woman? I don't know if I buy that. I don't know if I buy that. December 26th. That's my father's birthday, December 26th.
Oh, nice. He took you into a little room.
Took me into the room, and he looked me in the eyes, and I could tell he was upset. He looked a little shaky. I don't know if it's his vertigo or what. But
where we're at here is Howard got suspended for promoting in 2005.
Oh,
He's
yes.
very happy about it because it's a continued promotion, and it leads to him getting so. He's kind of humble bragging about getting suspended, and it made national news. And people don't realize this existed, that he actually got suspended. So they tell him, I don't want you using this as a... Why would executives want him to do that? Why would they want him? Why would they sabotage their own upcoming Free FM? Why would they want him to do that? Why would he to take all his listeners away from them? Why would they fully grant him the right to
I don't think they did at all.
I
They
don't
just
either.
never really listened to the show. And then one day one of their lawyers said, do you know what he's doing?
Yes.
He's riffing every day.
Every day.
Trying to get everybody over there. And then they went, wow. And a theory I told John off air was that they said, you know what? Let's just let him dig his own grave, and then we'll sue him in a year. And we're going to have a great time.
He can't stop huckstering. He can't stop selling during that time. And the executives, you know how crazy they are with ad rates and account executives. Like that is a free infomercial for virtually the whole show every day.
And I think he, you know, OCD. I think Howard became obsessed with doing it.
No doubt.
It was like playing the lottery. If he was just like, if I just keep mentioning it, it's just going to be more and more people coming. And he became addicted to it. And he made a horrific, terrible mistake. Yeah, I like your theory on that. The whole 10, 15-year plan they had.
He and Buchwald sat in the Millennium Towers, and they planned this out. They say, we're going to announce it now. I'm on the 5-yard line of terrestrial, and we're gonna just promote it the whole time. And they'll tell us to do it. We'll call it. And he thought he was playing chess with the CBS executives. Like, I'm gonna dance around it, and I'll tell them that it's my life. That's part of. I talk about my life, and this is my life. And then this is and they're gonna and it'll serve as soon as I get my bonus, and the bonus leads to, get this, $225 million. All he has to do is cross the 1 million subscriber mark. They'll credit him for that.
There it is there. So he was like obsessed with, he had to get that. That was his goal. That was probably the most important thing to him, aside starting this whole new show.
Well, do the math,
like,
right? If they find him, he's not going to pay it. Sirius is going to pay it for him, right? And what would the fines be? A couple grand? He knows he's getting $225 million if he crosses the 1 million threshold. What's a couple of $1,000 fine if he just keep doing it, right? There's nothing stopping him. They're not going to throw him off because they'd lose everything. So he can.
What do you think they got in the end when they settled out of court?
Well,
do you think he ended up having to pay more than $1 million?
No, I think Sirius paid it for him. I think Sirius settled with CBS, and I think that they.
What do you think that figure was, though, in the end? Like 100,000, 500,000?
Yeah, I don't think it was more than like 6 figures.
Yeah,
it was just some standard.
They just wanted to make his life hell for a year or so,
worrying
about it all.
We, as consumers, would have greatly benefited from him not getting his effing tapes, because he would have had to have programmed both channels with live shows. He would have had to have done that back to back. He couldn't have replayed 101. He would have to have live shit on weekends and stuff, like he said he was doing. And that was the bait and switch to get you to buy the hardware. Don't forget the hardware that he sold, right? The stilettos and the Radio Raheem boombox. So he's always been just a lubricious huckster, and that's what he had it. I think this goes back to like 2003. I think they had planned this even before the announcement, like a year before. He knew exactly what he was doing. There's nothing spontaneous.
Did he have the deal in place then, or when he signed the contract? Did he have the deal in place to get the tapes? Were the tapes included, or no? That came later. He had to negotiate. See. Wonder how much he had to. Imagine how much, give me. This is. I want your brain on this, John. Hypothetically, if they, how much do you think he would have paid? Because what you're saying, he needs those tapes so much for his plan to go down to 4 days.
He wouldn't have paid anything. He wouldn't have paid anything. Sirius would have paid. I think 7 figures for it. Because his goal, as I'll say it again, and I cannot reiterate this enough. How do I do the least amount of live radio possible? And how do I get the most money? How do I glean and squeeze out the most vacation days from them? And how do I have zero accountability? That is the goal. And the tapes allowed him to not do it.
But imagine if they understood how much he needs those tapes. They could have said 30 million. And Howard, with what he's trying to do, he would have ended up kicking in. I think he would have ended up kicking his own money to get those tapes, because they're worth so much. If they made an astronomical 50 million, he would have been like, yeah, I'll put in 30 million just to get them, because it's my whole, it's like my work. I won't have to bother. So they could, I hope they didn't just say 1 million. That's what I'm saying.
His rule of thumb for all things in his career is never pay a dime for anything. Always let the company pay for everything. There's not a shot in hell. He never. We know that. We've talked about this a million times. He's never paid his own fines. It was CBS and Infinity. All the this fake battle with the FCC that he's some champion of free speech. He never paid it. We've gone over this a million times. So he never pays his own money for anything. And what you ask is, I do think they would have gone. Can the executives be that stupid at CBS, knowing that he needed their tapes to do that? They had to have known it. They had to have known that he's going to use our audio wall to wall on Sirius. It's crazy. Line his own pockets and program his own channels, so he doesn't have to not only not do live radio, he doesn't want to pay other people to do live radio. So the whole plan is to pocket that 100 million, as much of it as you can.
Yeah, and in his mind, I think the replays are just as good. Everybody loves the replays. The show if he was being 100% truthful, the old show was better than this, so they're going to love it. But no, they hate it. You hated it, didn't you, John? You didn't want to hear that crap.
I knew. You talk about when he got into Sirius?
Yeah, once they started playing the replays, you'd be like, I've heard this crap so many times.
Here's the problem. Initially, when anyone that was a fan of him, and Sarah, you probably went through this too in Oregon, the show was gone if you missed it once. And they easily could have. This is when streaming radio was starting to come around. So they were playing music, and you could go online and you could stream radio. So you could be in New York and stream a show in Denver and stuff. That was like, I want to say like 2003 is when that started. And so he blocked K-Rock and CBS from streaming his show online. So you could be Sarah in Oregon and get a perfect signal and stream it, because he couldn't figure out how to. He basically was telling them, if I'm going to stream my show, I'm going to triple my salary, and they wouldn't go along with it. So he blocked them from streaming his show, and it should have been available to download. Every show on FM and AM at that point, you could basically download it from a website, any live radio show, except for his. Because he was so persnickety about the ratings, and he wanted it to feel like it was so rare. But then he never replayed it. It was never. I told them, why don't you just replay his show in the afternoon? Give him more money. But there were people that could not. If you listen to that damn thing in the morning, you were lucky to maybe catch a half hour or an hour. Some people were home, maybe, but it was so difficult, and it was your heads up your ass at 6 a.m. They should have replayed that in the afternoon and figured it out, and replayed it again in the afternoon. It was massive. And who would have complained if they just replayed it again in the afternoon? It was gone forever back then. And so he thought, by bringing the tapes over to Sirius, well, this is content no one's heard. Again, because we never replayed the show, and I'm not going to let them replay the show, because I'm going to make them come to Sirius and pay for it, because it's not available. Because you didn't. I mean, there was some really clever people out there online that had this system where they were recording it and they were transferring it when nobody else did. It was on. Remember Napster and Kazaa and BearShare and all that shit. A lot of his old shows were on there and stuff. But it wasn't.
Do you remember Wushtish Mean?
Yeah. I love that guy. Yes.
I had no connections. I didn't have you. I didn't have anybody to send me links. So that's where
you didn't have me.
I know. So that's where I had to go.
Oh, Edie McClurg was. It was a
bizarre interruption.
No.
Good one, Sue. Go ahead, Sarah.
No, I'm just saying that's where I had to go.
And back then, you had to make, like you said, connections with like techies. Maybe that might have. And again, I'll say it again. Sternfin Network was so huge for that shit. Do you remember the audio sharing? They had a sub. What do you call it? Forum. They had a forum called Audio Sharing. It was literally like an illegal audio sharing forum, and they would just upload stuff, and it lasted for like probably 2 years, and then Mutt had to whack it. That he got like legally threatened by someone, and he had to whack it.
Oh, I bet you, John, you're wishing that you downloaded the 1998 seasons, that if there were people were putting them up back then on there.
Yeah, thank you, Bond. Yeah, so he's talking about in May and June of 1998, there's a huge gap. And there's great stuff about Howard that I've reviewed, that I've kind of sussed out about his divorce. And I'd surmise that he was already separated from Allison by Stuttering John's wedding, because the two of them didn't go to the wedding. And Allison was very close with Susanna. And Robin was there, Ralph was there, Dominic Barber. Howard should have gone to that wedding. And the reason they didn't go is because they were separated and they could not go to the wedding together. And then people would have known they were separated. And that's 97. I have no doubt.
I
didn't
you, Autobot.
Believe. Dan Gauthier. That's the guy, Sarah.
Okay.
Thank you, Autobot. Yep. That's the guy. He's in everything, this guy. He was in Jump Street Season 2. He played Mike Ogletree. Thank you, Autobot. I'm sorry, Bon. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. That deserves a...
Thanks, nerds.
I remember I remember when you talked about 1998 being difficult to find a few years ago, and I thought, if there's anyone who's going to find it, it's going to be me. And I looked on all my sources, and I came up empty, and I couldn't believe it. I mean,
talking about two specific
surely.
months, May and June of 1998. There's these huge gaps. There's a couple of random shows in there, but so one of the clips that I'm obsessed with, and I don't have, is Howard teases. He pretends that he's just randomly interested in buying an apartment in the Millennium Towers, and he goes, yeah, I think it's next to Regis Philbin. So he's lying that he needs a crash pad because he's so busy in the city. Now his divorce from Allison and/or separation announcement didn't happen until November of '99. That clip is '98, May of '98.
Wow.
He's already separate.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to
it's
John
smoking
West.
gun. It's
Yep.
smoking. It's a gun.
You know the whole thing. He lived next to Regis in the same place, so he just happens to bring this up, and it's such classic him lying in the way that we. And then he has Trump on. He has Trump on a week later, and he says to Trump right in the middle of the interview, he goes, Donald, I'm thinking about getting a crash pad in the city. Can you hook me up with anything?
Yeah.
And Trump's like, and so, Mark's friggin' doesn't always write it out, but so I'm assuming that conversation goes a lot longer than what's written in the thing. And so he's trying to get Trump to give him an apartment in one of the Trump Towers in the interview. This is like a week after that. So he's shopping because he's out. He's trying to leave Old Westbury.
He says to me, look, I've got some bad news. I thought it was his health, because who knows what's going on with him.
I know, every week a new thing.
Every week he's busy or, One week, if it looks me in the eyes and he goes, I have very bad news, you're suspended.
Sarah was 7 years old.
I said, okay.
Did you ask for no explanation? Like, what did I do?
No,
nothing.
I didn't ask for anything. And Tom actually had tears in his eyes. Like, he didn't cry, but I could tell he was emotional about it. And I said, Tom, so then I thought about it for a second, what he had just said, because I realized, okay, didn't really mean anything. I said, this is stupid. I said, well, what's going on here? So he said I spoke too much about and my trip to
You see, he's not disturbed by this at all. There's no consequences. He knows. You could hear him. He's giddy with this. He's humble bragging. He knows that he's going to continue to do this because those fines don't even come close to this impending $225 million bonus he's going to get come January of 2006 if he crosses the million.
He does eventually reveal, like 5 or whatever so years ago, that he did cry in the meeting.
He bursts into tears every time he doesn't get his way.
I think it's an act. I think he's scared, but who knows? You might be right. He does have that tone. It's like whatever, like I don't know which one it is. If he's underneath, he's got the darting eyes, terrified, but
yeah.
Maybe he doesn't care because, they're going to pay. You're right, John. They are going to pay.
He has a reflexive defense all the time. He slips into that rap about how he's the most honest man, a businessman in show business, and he would never cheat. And if he finds $10 on the ground, he would give it back to people. So he does that shit. He has that's coming out of a holster. Every time he's accused of insider trading or anything like that, he tries to go to that. Oh, my father was such a good man who would never cheat anybody. And I'm just like, you're not going to get, your agent's doing it. And that's who's Buchwald's pulling the strings, and that's the guy making all the deals. It's not him doing it. Howard gets credit for that he's doing it. It's Buchwald doing this. It is just, you couldn't possibly have more of a deal with the devil than this guy does at the highest level.
I'm just going to talk here for a while, Tom. Yeah. Do you want to be in on this? You want to make a comment?
Yes, I was emotional. I don't remember having a tear in my eye, but I was emotional.
No, I looked in your eyes, and I'm not saying you were crying. I'm just saying I could tell you were upset.
No, absolutely. It was not a high point for me. It was a low point.
Yeah.
Chiasano's, they've already, they're looking at who's going to replace him and stuff, and they don't know if, the other thing, and I need you to, and again, we could maybe get to this next time, whatever. What I think pissed CBS, I say CBS, Infinity, K-Rock, whatever, there's 8 different nomenclatures for that. that it wasn't even just the promoting of Sirius to fuck them over listeners. It was bashing the people that they had. So he gets his money, he goes to Sirius, and even before he's bashing David Lee Roth all the time, every day. Leave him alone. He's not a threat to you. He's replacing. You don't want him to be. You don't want him to be good. You want him to suck. But David Lee Roth, to his credit, never did anything close to stealing from Howard. He did his own thing. Was it a mess? Was it a dumpster fire? Sure. Should he have not taken it? David Lee Roth knew he was going to get fired the day he took that job. He didn't want to get up early. He's got this rock star lifestyle. He loved sleeping till 1 PM. He wanted to get fired. So they paid him out, I believe, 4 years. But give David Lee Roth this. He did not rip. He did his own thing. As crappy as it was, he did not come close to taking his format. But Howard spent infinite time on the air, and these CBS guys heard him doing nothing. He would bash he wanted it to suck. He wanted it to fail. All these people are his friends, and the schadenfreude was so thick that I think the CBS executives said, no, fuck you, we're suing you. You can't even do your own thing. You won. You got the money. You're on Sirius. They made you a partner. You can't even go away like a gentleman. You can't even take the high road. You got to bash us still because you don't have material. And that made them sue him. I'm positive of it. Because they were trying to take him down when he's not there. What does he gain from that? Is he so bitter that no one's allowed to succeed in radio but him?
It's a good theory that, he kept asking for it. He was asking
every
for
day, bashing David Lee Roth that he's not. He's not as good as you. Of course he's not. You don't want him to be. You wouldn't admit it anyway if he was. But he's not ripping you off. He's not even close to ripping you off.
Yeah.
Next one. Same thing. This is the second. I just broke it up into two. This is promoting and 2.
You, not Tom. And you want to play that Fred? Go ahead.
Tom has arrived. I miss this stuff. The Tom songs, and they would come in and stuff. This shit I miss.
Tom has arrived. Now the show's barely alive.
I saw Fred Restrict. It is sad. I said, this is so silly. I said, I've had many discussions with Joel and yourself and Steve Lehrman. I've had more discussions with Joel and Tom about what I can say about and what I can't.
Sarah, everybody's agreeing with you. Pell-El, Brendan, Fuji Vice, Chief Phony Feathers, the Robo Spanker, and the fucking Sibian was the worst. It was such a. I agree.
It's probably been said too many times when we've been discussing the downfall of the show lately. But once losing that censorship wrecked the show.
Because it was fun to watch them dance around the censor.
When he had freedom, he took way too much advantage of it and just went way over the line.
Nobody made cursing look worse than this show, and Howard included. Whether, that the Ronnie thing's accurate, but everybody on the show. Nobody made cursing look worse than this show. It actually made me dislike cursing because I just enjoyed them. There was a skill. It was an artful skill to dancing around the FCC and the censors back then. It was fun. I liked effing better than fucking. I liked a-hole better than asshole. I just did. And it was actually funnier for some reason. Yeah, the Jesus twins. The Sibians, you couldn't be more right, Sarah. Spot on, says Mr. D. G Canada says, I can wait my whole life. I've waited my whole life for Sarah to say dildo machine. Sarah's spot on.
But it's now a drop.
Mr. D says Sarah is G spot on here. The Sibian got so boring so fast. I couldn't agree more, and I got tired of him saying the word. I was so sick of it.
I said, if I've in some way stepped over the line here, sit me down and talk to me.
He knows exactly what the line is. He knows exactly what he's stepping over. He's such a fucking serial liar.
Letters all the time. Got another one yesterday. I've now got compiled 3. I say I feel right. It feels like you guys are preparing a case against me, and I'm just feeling like my back's up.
You hear that, Bon? I feel like you guys are preparing a case against me.
There it is. The fear.
Not only that, but he's leaning. He knows it's coming. He and Buchwald knew this is going to happen, and they know that the fines don't even come close to equaling. Nobody has any idea the bonus he's about to incur when he gets to Sirius. No one has any idea. $225 million. Certainly, his own cast members don't.
It's like you guys are preparing a case against me, and I'm just feeling like my back's up against the wall. And if I'm doing something inappropriate, just tell me. Let's sit down.
Yeah, I'm sure you did that.
It wasn't even that long a conversation. I just said, okay. I said, what am I going to tell you? I said,
and this is classic Macho Elbow. Look at this, Bond. Macho Elbow. That rivals him with Sizzle Chest. It's got the same kind of rhythm to it. Macho Elbow. Thank you, Macho Elbow.
This is with pay?
That's it. Let's establish that.
Thank you.
He said yes, and I said okay. I said it's one day. He said okay. And then I went back to my office, and after the show, I always meditate because it puts me to sleep. And I'm sitting there now, I can't sleep because I'm like, I should probably call my agent.
Yeah, because
How many times a day do you think Howard calls Buchwald?
So many.
And this is classic Sizzle Chest.
Especially back then in those years where he's transitioning to Sirius. I bet you they were on the phone 15 times a day about their scheming and shit like that, and him playing the victim, and oh my God.
If it's anyone
that you had sort of left the building a lot earlier.
Yeah. Remember you said you had a photo shoot, and I was thinking...
I did.
Like all the crap you had to go through based on that, and now this is on your head. I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was weird. I didn't quite know what to make of this. The reason for the suspension was that I talked too much about But I kind of had parameters laid out for me, but I was fuzzy on what it was I was doing wrong exactly. Right. And I think maybe a lot of this had to do with the fact that Joel was pissed off that I was bad-mouthing him. But in my opinion, I didn't start that fire. I just, I was responding to...
Sarah, Mr. D wants to know if you'll be Richard Simmons' donor for kids over here.
I would be... He's got to donate to me. And that would be a no.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Okay,
and now, what about Davyd?
Yes, I would do that. See, I'm 46 in 2 weeks.
That's okay.
I don't think there's anything to provide anymore.
You're a very young 46. You sound young. You read on a 48-year-old level, so I hear. You're tested all the time. You played piano, didn't you, at one point? You said
2 seconds. I had one recital and I quit.
You did a recital in a mall.
Yes.
That is not nothing.
The Lancaster Mall in Salem, Oregon in like 1984 in the piano store.
That's great. That's so great.
1980. Okay.
You and Davyd play four hands on the piano?
No, I played a song called Christopher Columbus.
We got a band.
How does it go? Just sing it.
Yeah, sing it.
Da, 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 da. No, you're recording this. I'm not doing that.
See, Bon, now you're going to have everybody self-conscious that they're being recorded, that everything...
I know,
Go ahead, Sarah. We're all friends here. We're all family. We're all
How does it go?
Christopher Columbus. It was like beginner level recital. The piano song is actually on YouTube. I've looked it up before.
Your parents are so proud of you. It's ridiculous. I can see them brimming with pride in that mall.
She's never been in jail. I mean,
I know.
How could you not be? You know,
I put people in jail.
Oh my God. She was so like law abiding. I told her to wear an FBI windbreaker to walk to work in the morning,
and then I'd be arrested for impersonating an officer, a federal officer.
What about that body inspector joke that they have? Like in Florida, they have those novelty shirts. What is it? Federal body inspector. Why is that all right? You can wear the jacket.
My parents used to buy me those adult joke T-shirts.
Yeah, you could do that.
Listen, I don't really think they knew what they were doing, but like they were called Johnson's T-shirts.
Yeah, right.
And it was they were alluding to the peen, and I would be wearing these out and about in the 80s.
I was gonna say, I think you could easily Nobody would ever bother you in any way. You know how intimidating an FBI windbreaker. I know Donnie Brasco. I know Joe Pistone. You don't think I can clear that with like Jim Comey or something like that? I know I could get clearance from Washington to get you to wear the windbreaker. I know I could.
Yes, because Melvin has it. They were called properly. They were called Big Johnson T-shirts.
Did Sarah just step on herself with a
Yes,
drop?
I did.
That's the first time I've ever heard that. That was great. Chief Phony Feathers, when did he meet 60 Minutes? The 60 Minutes segment is a really good one to go back. He actually had a fake house set up for that in Mineola. And he does he cries on the sidewalk and shit. No, I don't even remember this. It was a house of art. God damn it.
I just remembered it. I couldn't remember it. Wow. This is vault material we're going through here. I'm loving this. Great references. Chief Phony Feathers. Oh.
That's such a great name, too. I have seen better acting in Rider PI, by the way.
A series of things the company was saying about me.
Right.
I felt weird about it. So he suspended. I said to Beth, we can go out to dinner tonight. And we went out to Nobu, had a nice Japanese restaurant experience.
Nice.
And had a couple of drinks. I don't know. I was listening to the news.
Well, I heard Beth, saying that, she was in.
He never goes out during the week. He's sitting there, he's just all giddy with like, fuck, I'm rich, $225 million. And he's in that insouciant mode. I don't give a shit. Like he sort of doesn't care. And like, it's the only way that he would go out, during the week. And Nobu is downtown. I think they opened up a new one. Nobu's in the Tribeca. And that's his place. Richie Notar is the owner. And wasn't De Niro, Sarah, the co-owner for a long time? And I don't know if he sold his half. It was Richie Notar and De Niro.
I don't know.
Still hasn't done the radio. De Niro still hasn't done the show. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Formed when they called her. She had no idea.
Chief Phony Feathers thinks that Sirius ponied up $2 million to get the tapes. That's not a bad stab, Phony Feathers. That's not bad. I'll sign off on that.
You mentioned that. I am shocked De Niro hasn't done the show because they can both revel in their TDS, their Trump syndrome.
Oh,
together.
yes, exactly.
De Niro's done way lesser shows. He's on like MSNBC all the time, and he's on CNN. Where did I see him? I told you that story. He was supposed to do the show, and they were on vacation twice. That it was a Thursday or something like that. He was supposed to do the show. I can't remember that CIA movie that he directed, or was he in it? Remember there was like a CIA movie with Matt Damon and Angelina Jolie? I think that's what he was promoting.
Okay. There's been so many. I don't know.
Yeah, and I heard Mary Dell'Abate on the news say that her and Gary were going to be able to have a couple of glasses of wine because he doesn't usually drink on a work night.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. And next one.
That news, what a waste. That was so stupid. Even from the beginning, I was like, this news crap is so dumb. It's just a way to waste airtime.
So cut to a couple weeks later, Donald Trump comes on to say goodbye to the terrestrial end. And Trump, in the middle of it, is forced to kind of call him out and call Sirius out on, why did you let him promote Sirius on your air, CBS? What are you thinking? What are you doing? You're idiots. And I think that Trump shamed them into suing him too. He goes crazy. Listen to this. He's like, and he just launches into it at the end. And I did not see this coming. And I had found this, and
because this is our last show with you. Okay. On
what, Bob?
What year was it?
2005. Winter of 2005. They're doing their goodbyes to the regular guests.
Yeah, okay.
Trump was as good a guest as anybody was.
That could have been a factor. You're right. They could have heard that.
If you're executives listening to these last days, he embarrassed the shit out of you. You're sitting there in your office. You can't look good in this. It's not, you don't take it good. You maybe you giggle when he's there, but you're steaming, and he humiliated you here. And there's no way to look good during this. He embarrassed them. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Called This Kind of Radio. Yeah. And we hope to see you at our new home, where we can curse and really talk horrible things.
And by the way, before you do that,
one of the great business moves of all time? How they allowed you to continue this program instead of saying, Howard, you're frickin' fired. How they allowed you to continue this promotion for your new job and your new location is, to me, one of the greatest things. If I were running the station, the day you announced that you signed with Sirius and Scott and Mel and all those great people and the friends of mine, okay? The day you announced, I would have fired you so fast your head would have spun. You would have been out of here. You've been promoting this new deal.
Not really.
For 7 or 8 months.
I just say I'm leaving.
Is this not crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy. And Howard's freaking out there. Not really. He's fighting back. The feathers are going up. Everything's...
I was on his side at the time, and even I was like, oh my God, are we doing this again today?
I know.
Every day. And there was a question about whether or not I had the boombox. I couldn't even afford a StarMate.
You were my stiletto, Sarah. You were my... What do you think also, too, that is it possible that Trump is friends with Les Moonves, which he is, and that he's fighting the fight for Les Moonves right now?
Oh, that would be poetic. It would be fantastic.
That he's already spoken to these guys and they had a conversation already. And Les is like, this motherfucker.
Go in there for me.
Go in there for me. Is it possible that he's doing Trump is too aggressive here? It's gotta be.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever heard him this aggressive. He looks not. Why is he so excited? He doesn't benefit from it. He is pummeling him.
You so fast your head would have spun. You would have been out of here. You've been promoting this new deal.
Not really.
For 7 or 8 months.
I just say I'm leaving.
Howard sounds rattled too. He's sort of going, I don't.
Yeah.
Not really.
7 or 8 months.
I just say I'm leaving.
It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. How stupid could anybody be? How they Where is Tom? What does Tom look like? I know Tom's a golfer. Where is
Tom is hiding now in the back room.
Tom, how could you let this happen? I mean, I wouldn't have said this. I wouldn't have said it 2 months ago, 3 months ago, but now, I mean, you have a week
You're
left.
out
What
the
are they
door.
gonna do, fire
Might
you?
as well say it now.
I mean, you know.
Yeah. Listen.
It's one of the, by the way, seriously, one of the greatest promotions I've ever seen is that you used another network to promote your show brilliantly. So congratulations.
In no way did I try to disadvantage the company.
Howard's also worried about insider trading stuff here. So the Martha Stewart stuff is also entering the picture here. Is this not crazy? This is such a good clip. Nobody talks about this. We played this a long time ago on Gunk, and it was maybe too abbreviated, but I always thought it deserved way more attention than it got. And I always meant to circle back to it. He pummels him here. Listen to this. If you're the executive, you're going, holy shit, this is so bad. But I think that he's fighting Moonvez's fight for him here. So here's a compliment from Crazy Robin, Sarah. The Deppers Awards left me speechless.
Oh,
thank you.
I meant beyond magnificent. And Bon
well,
Jovi
I have an
left me
announcement. I was going to make it about a month ago.
This year, I can feel it in my cockles of my heart, everybody. She's about to say the awards.
I have begun
yes.
to collect footage.
Okay.
But it takes, last time I did it, what we did at the end of December, I had to start in September. So, and I was rushing. So, because I can only do it when I'm not working. So, yeah, it's a pain in the ass, but I'm going to attempt it again.
But John has to start working too, because John, you got to write your set.
No, I have
the beginning
30,
of
I
it.
have 30 monologue jokes written already.
And then you've got that. Don't forget that you've got the new segment this year.
Yeah.
Which is the possible segments that you could create.
Yeah.
I can't.
Where is Rochelle Hathaway? His
the categories. I'm sorry.
The categories. Yeah.
Go back to the first one.
You've got to write a list. Oh God, leaf blower action.
Go back to the first Deppy, the only Deppy episode, and the last 25 minutes is just him listing off topics or categories.
Yeah. Yep.
I wanted to unplug him.
Oh God,
It was beautiful.
I was so motivated. I
think it was me in the chat egging him on.
Yeah.
I was saying, give us more categories. Just give us a few off the top of your head, John. New ones. I bet you can come.
Didn't I ban you that day for that? No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do that.
Probably.
G Canada says, Hooper, you have to turn on accept the membership.
Yeah, I would just try to do everything, and I appreciate you guys asking how to do that. I know Shuli has a direct link to it in his descriptions on every video. I got to figure it out, but everything comes up when you're on a regular computer. There should be a link when you go to our homepage on YouTube for the channel. There should be an option to join or subscribe.
I'm with Jose Villataro here. I had the same mindset. If this is what he's talking about, if you were a celebrity and you listened to his show, listen to the Stern Show, or you did the show, I became a fan of yours off the good sportness of it, that you were willing to come in there and riff and banter and take a hard-hitting interview. I would become fans of people because they did his show. It made me think much more of them, that they were willing to put themselves in the firing range. And there's so many people like that. That's a great point, Jose.
That's why Trump was amazing on that show. He was maybe one of 2 celebrities I would actually stick around to listen to, because he knew the people, he knew the side stories, he knew everything.
He knew what he wanted, and that
he
was
knew what he needed
bash.
to have a great conversation.
He I think I predicted that Trump was going to take Howard's spot when he went to it was one of the I think it was on Stern Fan Network, and they had who's going to take Howard's spot. I said Trump. He was gonna. He needed a forum that he was gonna. You know what I mean? Like he could just do whatever he wanted to. That I said that Trump was gonna take the terrestrial spot.
He had a #1 reality show at that point. He didn't need the radio.
No, he didn't need it. He didn't. I just thought he was going to do some kind of syndicated thing. I think he did have a syndicated show somewhere. I don't know.
He had a couple.
Sarah, make a cartoon cat membership emoji.
I'm going
please,
to.
Melvin.
Company. No, I'm very, very happy I worked here.
How you got away with this, I have no idea, but congratulations.
Thank you.
I think it's going to be written about. They're going to do a new chapter in the book at the Wharton School of Finance.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What do I know from finance? I have no idea.
You know
but
nothing.
let me talk to you about, before we get...
You guys catch that? So Howard's doing the homina backing away, like, I don't know business and I don't know anything and I don't know. He is terrified of the insider trading thing, and that's coming at him very soon. And
Black gold, yuck. I don't know nothing about no money.
Howard's legitimately rattled there, and you could tell that he is. That's such a good clip. It's such a good audio. Okay, you want to jump on? You want to go to him at the rally, the last day at Sirius?
Yeah, iconic moment.
Let's
of
just
Artie
jump around. We're not
Lang.
going to spend too much. We're just going to jump around. We'll see Artie, and look at the applause Artie gets versus everybody else, and tell me that he's not the reason he made his bonus. Okay, so this is, from what I understand, K-Rock paid. Okay, here's Artie. K-Rock paid $1.5 million, or CBS did, to send him off for this one day.
Wow. Artie was attractive.
Let's make this next one very quick.
What's there?
Artie was attractive in that era.
So are you, my dear. So are you.
And you know what? By this point, this is the beginning of the Richard and Sal crap. I was over it. Richard's likable. I don't need to see this. It's not funny.
Crazy Robin says Howard is a dick. He wants money's listeners equal money. That's all it is to him. He could burn down terrestrial radio all at the same time. Well said. Agreed.
Intro, because our next guest is probably drunk as a skunk and he's about ready to pass out. Please welcome the Jack Daniels loving, heavy gambling, food gorging, Artie Lang.
This is an insane greeting. It's beyond any of theirs. Now look at the hardware they're holding up here, Sarah. Look at the radio right here. So this is on CBS's there, and this entire thing is a promotion for Sirius. All they do is show the hardware in the background. The signs are everywhere. Why would CBS go along with this? They can't stop them now, right? It's the last day.
It's absurd.
great point, Pal. If David Lee Roth had succeeded, Howard have immediately went into he's stealing my act. He only didn't say that because he didn't succeed. That's a great
Because
point.
it was a disaster from minute one.
It's cold outside and I'm watching a fat guy on stage. Wow! Hey guys, listen, I love all you guys. Let's face it, I'm going to be truthful. I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm
He doesn't look fat to me here at all. Does he to you?
No,
fat?
this is slim compared to 2008.
He just looks like a mediocre physique. That's not fat to me. That's,
He's
what is
fine. I would
that? Did he
totally
let
date
Howard
him.
get in his head calling him fat and he believed him? He's not fat
Yeah.
here. Billy was surrounded by talent. Crazy Robin.
Holding. It's 11 o'clock in the morning and let's face it, I'm drunk. Artie's back, but guess what? Guess what? Because of the Howard Stern show and you great fans, my girlfriend has a great ass, so everybody can go F themselves! Today is a celebration. We are celebrating the greatest show in the history of entertainment, the Howard Stern Show. We're
How prepared do you think Artie is for this, or do you think he's winging it?
He's totally winging this.
I think he is too. He's got such a great presence, though. He has it. He really does. He's the charisma is dripping off him. He is at the peak of his powers here. He is the reason Howard made his subscription bonus, and you can tell he has them eating out of his hand. This is like everywhere he went.
He had them the second he started in with those tired impressions that he always did.
I mean, they want him. It's not that he.
I know, but
he's sick of it too. But he gives them what they want. You get sick. I mean, like could you imagine going on stage as a comedian and repeating the same fucking joke 7 nights a week? How old that would get.
That's amazing how they do it. Like
I don't understand how you don't get
They
tired
make
of
it seem like it's just come, like little parts of it have just come to them on the spot, and then it's hilarious. And then if you go to 5 shows, it's like a theater show. Yeah,
it's not noble either. It's I don't understand how they don't get sick of themselves. That's quite a attention whore where you need to do that every night to repeat the same shit. That's quite a weird craving of attention that I just don't understand.
Celebrating a show that gives a home. It's like the island of misfit toys. It gives a home to people like me. We're celebrating hookers, strippers.
You see, like Sarah just said before, the least favorite part of the show for me. I could care less about any of that. The least
naked
favorite
women
part.
with plastic appendages. Yay.
That's the lowest brow bullshit. I always skip right through it.
We're celebrating midgets with drinking problems. We're celebrating.
Tamara Francois Davyd wants to be a donor, baby wise. That's a great. Talk about baby. That is a great. That I got to see that one.
Retards who have no teeth. Crack whores. Crack whores. Obese people with bad body odor. Bad body odor. That's what we're celebrating tonight. Because the Howard Stern Show gives a home to all you people. I have $50 to the first fan who hands me a Vicodin.
I don't remember what happens here. Does he get a Vicodin? I don't remember. That's really funny.
I bet he got more than that from that crowd.
Did I ever tell you the story? My cousin knows a guy who was Artie's co-writer, Frank Sebastiano. And they had like an intervention, not so much with him, but they said that they were going off on the Stern Show for exploiting Artie for all those years. And they said, it's coming. The end is coming. I cannot stand. And they were telling him, Artie, you're way more than a fat guy on drugs. They're exploiting you. And that guy, Frank Sebastiano, was trying to, and it just didn't work. You know, eventually, I don't think he would have lasted another year anyway, but that's, he was a Saturday Night Live producer and writer and stuff.
I hope wherever he is now, he stays there.
I feel like he's at peace with himself, almost like
He needs to stay away from anything social media, even. He's somehow making it, not being in show business. Just stay where you are.
Give Artie his props. He walked away from it. he's not. He's tried podcasts, and he's just sort of like. It's almost like you can't put the toothpaste back in the bottle. He's sort of done with it. I think that he got it out of his system, and it's just maybe he has a team of therapists that are tell you, look, man, you're show business. I don't want to say you're too good for it, but it's just not working for you. It's made you money and stuff, and you can throw money at situations and problems, but it is time to walk away from it. It seems like
He might want to come back, but he can't because of that nose. You can't look at him visually.
Yeah, true. There's right. The visual, right. And he has a horrible self-esteem as it is. It's got to be eating him alive. The optics and stuff.
Well, he said if he fixes it, he'll just ruin it again.
Yeah.
So he keeps it on his face.
So sad.
Keeps that, smashed in like that. So when he passes by the mirror, he reminds himself not to go back to that.
I don't know if he's in Jersey. I don't know if he's in Florida.
I heard Florida.
Is it Florida? It's always
Hopefully, his mother is his only lifeline at this stage. I hope she stays alive for many, many more years.
Yeah, I agree.
All seriousness, my father turned me on to the Howard Stern show. My father has since passed away, and I'll say to you what I said to my father died. Wow.
G Canada brings up a phenomenal point here. When he brings up Nobu, it's almost like what we just said about what Sarah said before about promoting 90210. He talked about Nobu in almost the same way that he talked about 90210. There's not a shot in hell he's paid a dime at Nobu, especially with Richie Notar there. It's an infomercial. How many people, how many tourists, how many well-to-do tourists came to New York and went to Nobu and Scores because they heard it on the Stern show? It's crazy. We got to do a whole Scores thing again too. We have to have Chauncey on again. I don't think he's tapped into enough. I don't think we tap into what he can do enough because he is such a ball butt. He caused so much trouble, and he's going to come on again. I don't know if we're going to get to it today. But it's coming up soon.
I was going to say we probably need to start wrapping up.
Okay. We'll do Howard's speech and then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
One of the most overrated, worst speeches. Corny ass.
Last of a dying breed.
Yeah. Oh, is that bad?
But I'll say to you people what I said to Howard at one of his birthday dinners. And this is from the heart. The biggest reason I wish my father was still alive is so he could hear me on the Howard Stern show.
Speaking of Artie's dad, Sarah, who has a worse ladder story, me or Artie's dad? I survived, but it doesn't make it any worse. Tell him what the story was.
Okay. He is trimming out in the backyard. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
Trimming a bush in the backyard, and the terrain is rather lumpy.
Ladder.
Okay, you're up on a ladder. You go to step off the ladder, step on a tree stump, fall over with a chainsaw going that's strapped around your neck.
Wrapped around me. Fall off the ladder 4 steps with the chainsaw.
You fall off the ladder rather autistically, I picture. And how many people had to help you get this chainsaw?
I fell into a quasi ditch, and the chainsaw is still going. So I have to keep the chainsaw. I can't shut it off. I can't stop it. There's people huddled around me, and they're afraid of the chainsaw, so they can't help me up. I can't get up because I'm in a ditch, and they have to unstrap the chainsaw from me, or I'm going to cut my own head off. It's way worse than his dad's story. I hit my back. I fell completely over. I thought I was. I'm acrophobic as it is. I still think about that. I am lucky to be alive beyond it. Only I could jack tripper my way and fall off a goddamn ladder. It is so crazy. I am more klutzy than ever now. This was 3 years ago.
Wow.
Thank you, Autobot. Good Shepherd was the movie with De Niro and Matt Damon in it. Thank you, Autobot.
Do not let this celebration end today. Join us. Come with us in space.
going crazy for your sound dropping skills, Bon. They're not exaggerating. It is. Fred was never close to what you were able to do. It's. You please grant us with some more Pelican brief drops before we close out tonight.
Well, I think I've stepped on every single one. So
that's right.
No, she didn't.
We should be blasting it on Twitter.
Mr. D says, wow, Trump is shilling for Lex, cock blocking for another New York City millionaire who, Les Mundas, who had way more money than Howard at the time. Fascinating. What a great clip that is.
I feel amazing. This is the best day of my life, man.
That crowd reaction is so another level than what Howard gets. I'm sorry.
And the best day of my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the last 20 years, he's been...
Okay. Fred's is horrible, too. Want to jump to Howard's and then right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm loving it.
It's a grand finale. The reason we're all here today. He's been called the most important man in the world. He's paving the way for the future of entertainment. And he's here today to...
Yeah, thank you, Paulo. Howard doesn't want to slip up and admit to a breach of contract. That's exactly right. You could hear it dripping all over him. Very fertile, Sarah. Lauren Marie says, this is what you call gaslighting, Arm. Howard saying he didn't promote Sirius when we all know we have ears and we heard it from... Thank you, Lauren. Nobody's explained it better than you have right there.
Celebrate over 20 years of history-making radio. He's the king of all media. Please welcome Mr. Howard Stern.
Look at how prepared he is. He has 10 pages of boring ass, corny ass fucking farewell stuff, which he thinks is killing. It's so bad. It's just boring. It's not inspiring. It's not anything. And look at how he's got 10 pages of this crap. Wouldn't you just improvise it better than that?
Yeah.
Jose Portola goes, the Sibian was funny when they let the poison out. Yeah, like one time it was funny with that guy. What was his name? What was his name again, guys? The guy with the Sibian and the shit. What was his name again?
Ed Torian?
Yeah, no.
No.
You'll have it in the chat.
Jesus. Let's we got doggies here. Look at Adolf Hitler on the left.
Yeah, wow.
Dave Lampert.
Dave Lampert, they said in the chat?
Yes.
That's it, Dave Lampert. Thank you, guys.
God bless. Thank you. I think that's like Nosferatu again.
Do we bow to public pressure? Bring me every set together.
Guys, that ain't 6'5". That's fucking 6'8". Look at him towering over these guys. That is not 6'5". I know power forward height. That's not 6'5". And he's got that horrible, like, rigor mortis, shitty posture that he can't stand up straight. So if he stood up straight, it would even be more
higher. Yeah, he would. Yeah.
Let's pause this. We recognize anyone? There's Marianne. There's what's his name? Kenneth Keith Callenbach. High pitch Eric's the left.
Yeah, on the left. Yeah. Is that
Joey
Beefus
Boots.
in the middle?
No, she wouldn't be here. She's sequestered
There's a very
in the back.
blonde chick
She wouldn't
in the
be with
middle.
civilians, Mon. You know.
Yeah,
that.
she wouldn't be touched by the peasants.
No.
No.
There's
She would have had a
there's
rape
chick
story.
naked up
She
the front. Okay.
It would have been like the Rum Diary scene with Amber Heard at the
Oh
dance
yeah,
club.
good reference, Sarah. Good one.
You got to bring it back.
Well, I stand before you today erect.
All right, Melvin, you got it. Sarah finding 2006 Audie Lang attractive. Midlife crisis.
I don't mean like that. I mean, I'm standing here tall and straight. Actually, I am a little bit erect. Where is Bethel anyway?
Is there anything more unfunny and tedious than Howard making Beth is hot jokes and I'm gonna have sex? That's such a gay man trying to pretend to be heterosexual. Is there anything
Meanwhile,
more unfunny than that?
Ron Perlman in the house.
Hellboy. If I ever met Beth, I would go up to her and go, I don't know if you look like Ron Perlman on Sons of Anarchy or Hellboy. I can't decide sometimes.
I love you guys. I really do.
You think Hilaria is bad. Look at this shit.
Honey, I'm standing here erect. Yes, he is. I look out and I see a sea of shining faces, and I have to ask myself, does anybody work anymore? Hell no! No wonder the Japanese are beating our asses, right? How am I going to sum up 20 years with you?
Was that a Trump 2024 comedy just made? No wonder why the Japanese are beating our asses. Nobody's working today.
Guys, how am I going to sum that up? This is almost impossible to do.
Yes, the Japanese are beating our asses with Nobu.
I got a feeling of mixed emotions. I got sadness. I've got happiness. But mostly I have wet and cold, man. It's freezing, baby. I'm always cold.
This is actually a cold Tommy. This is like December 16th, I think.
Yeah, he's this dice sort of material.
He's never exposed to this cold.
Dice.
Think about Howard's life, right? How privileged it is and how sequestered and how insulated it is. I don't think he's ever been in the cold this long. What do you think about that in his life? I'm thinking about, I know what his schedule is. I know what he does. There's not a shot in hell he's ever been exposed to cold like this, ever. This is the only time it's to sell.
Working class humans.
Yes.
This disgusts him. Breathing the same air.
He's never been outside. New York in general, like if you live in New York, you are not a germaphobe. I cannot tell you the layer of pigpen filth that follows you around in that godforsaken city. When I lived there, I would take a shower, take the subway, take another shower, come home, take another shower. You never felt clean. It was so. Brendan will sign off. Anybody who lives in New York will say, you always feel dirty. You can't get away from it. There's no way. The germophobia is fake. You will not live in New York City. Not that he's outside. Like I said, this is the only time he's ever been outside to this degree in weather like this, ever.
And you, John, were you here that day? Were you there?
No, I didn't.
What happened?
I didn't want to be around High Pitch Eric and Joey Boots.
All right,
there's a whole. When you don't understand, like there's fans who I don't feel comfortable. They're troglodytes. They're horrible people. They're not. It's cute to see them, getting punched down on there. But when you get around them, they are the dregs of humanity, and it makes you feel like a piece of shit being around Joey Boots and High Pitch Eric. I have to stave off my depression, and being around them ain't helping.
Doesn't matter. Loyal fans for sure. I'm here today to let you know how much I appreciate you, the audience. What a
Lauren Marie says, in the culture of that Stern show in the year, everyone's fat. According to the idiots on that show, so many girls had so much damaged self-images because of their toxic. But I couldn't believe some of these like picturesque women who were like an 8. Their taste. This is a closeted homosexual's idea of what. So yeah, I couldn't believe some of the women they were calling chubby or zoftig or fat. It was horrible. They're so wrong. They're so off. And it does. She's right, and it gives you this is why broads have the body images they do. I hate men so much.
Magnificent 20 years we've had together. My friends, we've done it all. We've done it all!
There's nothing worse than cheap applause like that, or just plain. Bill Maher does that thing where he shuts it down on his show if you get like a, what do they call it? I forget when the audience is.
I read an article recently by a woman named Helen Popkin, and you know what she said? Howard Stern is the last of a dying breed.
Oh, here we go.
The last of a dying breed of broadcasters. You know why? Because Clear Channel Communications...
He's the last of a dying breed because he won't let anyone else be a breed. because he will shut you down. He will tell on you to Karmazin. They won't let you work. He will bash you. He will have you fired. You're not allowed to be a breed because he won't allow you to breed.
Yeah.
That's why.
The government, the religious right have taken over the airwaves. You're right. I am the last of the dying breed.
That's very poetic, Okashi. The Stern Show died so Artie Lang could live. That's really brilliant. That's so good. God damn it. I hope I remember to quote you on that.
Refuse to bow down.
Welcome to the
Clear
revolution!
Channel doesn't have live disc jockeys anymore.
Tamara Francois still has an APB out, and her ex-neighbor stole Vicodin from a bathroom a long time ago and had to share. Crazy. Tamara Francois is the Costco of Vicodin, I think, in the bathroom.
I am leaving FM radio I am leaving terrestrial FM radio for different kind of airwaves, so we can once again be free to do this broadcast the way I intend to do.
Lauren Marie says she saw Artie in Saratoga in like 2018-19. Yeah, this is a bad time for him. He went right off the radar at the time, and his show was a train wreck. His pants are falling down the whole time. He was rubbing his nose every second. Yeah, I think that's when he realized. Yeah, it is sad. I know. I've heard similar stories to that too. I think Monique had a story like that in Pennsylvania when she saw him.
I am the last of the dying breed. She's right.
True that, Howard! True that!
It's the truth.
You are right!
You know, when I started my career, I went from radio station to radio station, knocking on every goddamn door I could to get in. I still like digital cards compared to... I actually like cards better than digital equipment. I am the last of a dying breed, but here's the thing.
This effing huckster is selling that equipment right now, and you know he gets a cut. Good God, listen to him.
He can't even get the script right. Like, didn't he even read this a few times? He's just fumbling it all. It's so embarrassing, John.
I know.
You guys are the last of the dying breed. When are we ever going to see an audience like this again?
He thought this was going to be so epically poetic as he just kept saying "last of a dying breed" over and over again, and it's just like, you go. I remember watching this when when it originally aired, and going, "Is he really going to keep saying this?" Like right about now, you go, "All right, stop saying it," and he just couldn't stop. Yep.
There will never be another radio show like this. There will never be another audience like this. We have done it all. Congratulations to you. This day is a day of...
What a wise ass Brendan is here. Look at him. No, we're lucky you're alive. Like you don't mean that, Brendan. You don't mean that.
History, and we are all a part of the history. We are all...
Yeah, Pell, Opie and Anthony's fans tried to sabotage it. I don't think they did very well in that way, but Opie and Anthony troll him very nicely around this time. And I believe it was Opie that kind of told everybody, look, he's taking Friday off, and this is what, and they were so ahead of it. They had inside information about it. And that's another show we'll do, like the Opie and Anthony Howard feud, because that's sort of endless. I mean, Sarah will shine during that. She knows those guys probably better than I do. But I have a lot of their archives. We could do the high pitch Eric bomb threat to them, and there's a lot of good stuff. The Jingle Ball with Deborah and Ecstasy.
Part of this day, we are all the last of a dying breed. Together, we are strong.
Jingle Ball fucking
Jose Villataro says Howard's last year on the show would be cut off at 10 a.m. on DC 101, and the last show actually never aired. Wow. That's crazy.
Why?
Every market had different rules with him. What they would do to it. They had different like Dead Air Daves where they would censor certain parts of it, and they had different program directors, different censorship, different markets, and strict. Because I mean, he would go to 11:30 sometimes in New York. He would go 6 a.m. I remember when I first started, I couldn't believe it. He would go to like 11:30 at 6 a.m.
Thank you for being in my corner for all these years.
Yeah, Mr. D says way over 6'5". I'm 6'1", and that freak towers over me like some looming gay vampire.
In so many ways, you, my radio family, know me better than anyone. You've joined me for the past 20 years, day in and day out.
So Monique thinks that Artie, and this makes sense, is living in Florida with his mom. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, how much is left of this?
Just a little bit.
Because of you, I had clout. When you guys gave me ratings, I was able to go to every general manager and beat them down. I was able to go into the door of a program director and tell him to F off because of what you did for me. Today is Fan Appreciation Day. If you didn't give me the ratings, I couldn't have accomplished any of this. Yes, sir! This radio show has been fired. This radio show has been suspended.
Thank you, Brendan. And you're promoting Sirius, and that's all for you. It's all to line your own pockets. Yeah, Brendan says, especially when it's hot in New York City, like the last few weeks, you feel like a pigeon constantly. Couldn't be more right. But I relish it. Clean mind and conscious, unclean body. Wow, that's interesting philosophy. I've never heard you say that before, Brendan.
This radio show has been fined millions of dollars, but we stood our ground.
Can I just say, rest in peace, Johnny Meyer, to Harry Barbarian, the electric eel passed away. The guy we had him on our show. He was on Gunk like last year, and he was driving around, and I talked to him and shit, and he knew us, and I knew him. He just passed away. Johnny Meyer emailed us. That's crazy. I'm sorry about that. He's a really good friend of Johnny Myers, and he was a prank call kind of guy. He was the guy who did the fake calls, and they would make it seem like they would be paid callers that Howard would use. And exposed it.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to play that Johnny Myers call to Howard next time.
We stood our ground, the last of the dying breed. We're the last of the dying breed.
Fuck them all!
When 9/11 happened, we were there together. Do you guys remember when that guy tried to jump off the George Washington Bridge?
You saved his ass, Melvin!
We saved his life!
Melvin's right. It's like he's trying to reenact the end of Private Parts right here. That's a great take by you, Melvin. Yeah,
that's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
Anybody remember the Philadelphia funeral? Anyone remember the funeral for WMMS in Cleveland when they cut the wires? They couldn't get us down. We are the last of the dying breed. The last.
Oh, it's so awful. And the fans are they're such lemmings. They're just over cheering for this shit. Everything he says. The Artie speech is such a better reception. Mr. D says I saw Art. Go ahead, Bon.
I wish I'd looked at this beforehand because I would have done a last of a dying breed counter on it, and each time it would have gone ding.
I remember I snuck out into my living room to listen to this in earbuds so I could hear the entire thing at like 3 a.m. And I just remember, and I was madly in love with him at this point. I was like, this is the speech.
Yeah. You're expecting zingers and crazy rants and shit.
And it just goes on and on.
Yeah. He's losing them, but they're such lemmings and sheep that they're just kind of, lapping it up with fake laughs and fake responses and screaming as they always do. The dumbest among us are the knuckleheads, the troglodyte, lowbrow, the worst of audience right there. Those are the people that you never want to hang out with. I'm telling you. Mr. D says, I saw Artie when he came to Detroit for the benefit of the crippled kid. Nice thought, sold out music theater, and sad, drunk, rambling fat guy on stage. Over in 20 minutes.
So sad.
He's capable of so much more. It's not like he can't do better. I mean, he's just kind of lost his fire for that, and he's just sort of mailing it in, and he does these things he can't say no.
He has no way to not associate it with getting drunk or, snorting heroin.
I get that. It's like there was a time when I couldn't watch a movie without drinking. It's like these things that you're synonymous with, right?
Oh, man, when I stopped drinking, that was so hard. Everything like that was so hard.
There was nothing better than, I still do, but I'm saying I don't as much, but it's like synonymous with it. Johnny,
I used to go to movies and take a 6-pack in a backpack in.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that?
Yeah, well, in Hell's Kitchen, they had a second run movie theater, and that was when I saw The Astronaut's Wife 8 times, and I brought in a 40-ounce Bud Tall Boy, and went to the bathroom, and I tipped it over with my foot, and you heard the bottle like roll down the aisle, and the theater was like maybe 1/10 full, and you could just hear the thing like rolling down the aisle, and you knew it was coming for me, and I had to like go to the other side so you didn't know. I did it all the time. I used to sneak booze all the time.
You walked to the other side.
walked
I
to the
can
other side of the
so
theater.
imagine it.
Yep. Like
How
the
much did you
actual
lose,
40-ounce
though?
bottle rolled down the aisle because it was slanted on the.
Was it one half full or?
I was kind of done with it. I think it was like maybe an ounce left. I
That's
didn't,
not a problem then. I wouldn't
no.
give two shits by then. I'd be like, if it was half full, I'd be like, oh, what am I gonna do?
It was the Ninth Gate and Astronaut's Wife were constantly playing at this thing. It was like where Monique lived, actually. It's like 44th and 9th Avenue. This was the second run. I don't think it's there anymore.
20 years.
I remember looking up at the buildings. I saw Daredevil fighting Bullseye in the shadows, and Elektra was following him and shit.
Great.
The last of the dying breed. Thank you. We played anal ring toss. We played dildo golf. We had the wheel of sex, and we robo-spanked our way into history. The last of a dying breed. That's what we are. This is a big moment.
Like this.
You just sound so stupid.
You hear that? You hear you guys screaming? What about the tickle chair, Howard? What about the tickle chair? What about the tickle chair?
You're probably really great guys away from this crap. They just sound so ignorant.
It makes you
Howard,
kind
you're
of
the man,
embarrassed to be.
Howard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you see these people in real life, it makes you embarrassed to be a fan, and you will not go to another event.
You know, when everybody else played by the rules, we didn't. We weren't interested. We broke every rule known to radio and mankind, and I'm proud of that. Howard Stern Show audience, the last of the dying breed. And up, Jackie. I love you guys. Thank you. Our last show. Thank you. Thank you for all the years. Thank you.
Guys, Kyan Rennell, which I'm assuming he inverted the name here, so it would be Ryan Cannell. He changed the R and the K. I'm just not that you couldn't be Kyan Rennell, but I'm sure that you inverted the name. That does sound like Brian.
Stern, the fact.
That's the stupidest question.
Satellite logo. For so long, I've been bottled up in Infinity Bro.
This is CBS paying for that. Look at that promotion. Crazy, right?
Just garbage.
The most overrated, worst speech in the history of all.
But he's such a
icons
victim.
living. And he's such a
They
victim.
treated him horribly.
Last of a dying breed.
Whatever
You don't have
that
to live
means.
All right, so I want to make another announcement down the road. You can submit them now if you want. I will compile them. We are doing the roasts that they never did on the Stern Show. Howard, Robin, Fred, Benji, Richard and Sal, Will and Jason, maybe, and Marcy Turk. And anyone who wants to submit jokes, and again, when you roast someone else, you can roast the other people at the same time. If you want to submit a set to me at thedeppening@gmail.com or deppeningarm@gmail.com or what do you think, Sarah? 1 minute to 5 minute set?
Just 1 minute.
Sarah
Minimum 1 minute.
No, you can go as long as you want. Sarah's
Listen,
Sarah said she's gonna
minimum,
do a set.
minimum 1 minute.
Minimum 1 minute. Sarah said she's gonna do a set. If you're camera shy, I'm not camera shy, but if you have stage fright, if you're not into performing, write it for me and I'll do it, and we'll see, and then you'll still win, if we choose it. And I think it'll be I'm really looking forward to it. I really think it's going to be great. Bond is going to use all his video skills to, produce, whatever, like crowd interstitials and stuff like that. Yeah, shit like that.
We'll have to add some of that kind of stuff in.
I really feel good about it. I really think it's going to be good. You don't have to do it live. You pre-tape it, and you could do it over and over again until you think it's perfect, and then we'll submit it. And I just, I was so angry that they never got to them, the Buckwald troika at the time. So I want everyone to think again, work on it, think about it. Jose, how many of those fans are still listening? That's a great question, Jose. How many of those fans outside do you still think listen? I think 1/8 of them still listen, maybe.
Yeah. Brendan, thank you. Before I go, I have to check out. So you wrap
Thank
it
you,
up.
Brendan.
Get out of
You're
here.
right. This rules. Fastest 4 hours. Thank you, Brendan. We'd love to have you on someday. Brendan's a huge 21 Jump Street fan, by the way, and I always wanted
He's
him
also
to
a
sit in.
master troll.
He's a master troll.
Yes.
I enjoy
He's the
it.
male
I'd
Sarah.
rather enjoy it because he likes me. So
He does like you, and that you don't. I mean, you both are tough audience. You hate everybody. You're both misanthropes, and for him to like you and you to like him, you don't understand what kind of honor that is.
I feel honored that I understand 5% of his wrestling references. I feel very smart just with that 5%.
I think more than that. Lauren Marie says you're right, John, about the audience being lowlifes. When I went to Vegas for a live show, every guy in the crowd was out of control, scummy, grabbing, saying, she's right. You don't understand until you see it live. You will never go back. Lauren had an experience with Bob Levy. You remember that one?
Oh,
Up in,
no.
that was a Bob Levy.
After that, after a visit with
Me
Bob
too.
Levy at a show with a bottle of ranch dressing or blue cheese,
Yes.
whatever it was,
Yeah.
you could never be clean enough as a woman after that.
Oh God, Mr. Dangles said I had Old English in for the win. Yeah, that beats me. Old English goes right to your head. That is tough. That is that is anyway, I want to thank everybody. Bond, you have anything to promote, or what are we doing next? We're gonna do a Vanderpump or a Beverly Hills watch
Let's
along?
do a Beverly Hills. So Crazy
Okay.
Robin, email me, let me know when you're available, and we'll
We're gonna
work it
need
out.
people for that. I know Marta is a big Beverly Hills fan.
Yeah.
And who was it? LMD, right? Who was actually God? Who was telling us? Was it Holden? God, who's the? No, it was Boston. He fucking DM'd me. He's a huge 902. He made the the Jamie Walters reference and stuff. And the polite thing to do is accept the compliment. You're lucky you're alive. Thank you, Brendan. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're always right. Anything to promote, guys? Anything to try?
Nope.
Thank you everyone for hanging with us.
Yes, I apologize. Hit the like button.
Hit the like button. Hit like and subscribe. Yeah, I gotta play one more thing. Like Sarah mentioned it. Right here. I've said I was gonna do this 100 times and I never did.
While you're playing that, I'm gonna dip out. So
okay.
Goodbye,
Bye,
my
everybody.
dear.
Vinny,
Goodbye, my
it's
sweets.
Mark. Dearest viewers, a new month and a new show. If able, please donate to the Arm Fund, which is how your host gets paid. Super Chat, Venmo, Cash App, or memberships. It all counts. We'll all go. Now put your face in the buttermilk and take a sip. Oh, I love the knee. Welcome to a new arm venture. How do you keep the music playing? How do you make it last? How do you keep the song from playing too fast?
Sissy! 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 I love you, Sissy. I love you, Sissy.
Hey, John and Sarah, it's Holly Robinson Pete. How you doing?
Howdy.
Wow.